got me fucked up. Right game, wrong nigga. Keep up the disrespect. I'ma show you I'm a real nigga. I don't play no fucking games, so hear me clearly. You gon' get fucked up if you get near me. Now I can get gangster if you keep talking your shit. Tricks is for kids. Better find your ass somebody to play with. Cause these hands is rated E for everybody. I don't give a fuck who you call, but you better call somebody. Cause ain't shit about me scary. You better guard your grill. Cause one thing about me, I ain't scared to kill. So go on and lace your boots up, and we can run them hands. You don't want these problems with this grown-ass man. You got me fucked up. Right game, wrong nigga. Keep up the disrespect. Keep up the disrespect. I'ma show you I'm a real nigga. I don't play no fucking games, so hear me clearly. You gon' get fucked up. You gon' get fucked up. If you get near me. If you get near me. You got me fucked up. Right game, wrong nigga. Keep up the disrespect. Keep up the disrespect. I'ma show you I'm a real nigga. I'ma show you I'm a real nigga. I don't play no fucking games. You gon' get fucked up. You gon' get fucked up. If you get near me. I see you must think I'm pussy, cause I let you make it. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. I'm a dog, I can't fake it. I've been trying to spare your ass, but I see you on a buck. You ain't scaring nobody, cause I'm dangerous as fuck. Now all bullshit aside, this ain't what you really want. I've been slapping bitches since grade school. Now play with me if you want. You done got away with a lot, but that shit coming to an end. Been nice for as long as I can. Ain't taking no more losses, so fuck you. Then you got me fucked up. Hell yeah, you lost my trust. Yeah, I said fuck you with a lot of disrespect. Keep coming at me sideways. I'ma keep my foot on your neck. Right game, wrong nigga. Keep up the disrespect. Keep up the disrespect. I'ma show you I'm a real nigga. I don't play no fucking games, so hear me clearly. You gon' get fucked up. You gon' get fucked up if you get near me. You got me fucked up. Right game, wrong nigga. Keep up the disrespect. Keep up the disrespect. I'ma show you I'm a real nigga. I don't play no fucking games, so hear me clearly. You gon' get fucked up if you get near me. What's up, bitch? What's up, bitch? Mike Lage, my love. They keep asking what this is. It's not a brand. It's blood. It's living. It's out.
Yeah. Born from the soil that never forgot our name. Hands in the dirt, turning pain into flame. Every hymn, every march, every midnight cry was a blueprint laid so the future could fly. They mimic the rhythm, they quote the slang, but don't feel the weight that the struggle sang. This ain't fashion, this is family chain. Polished by time, baptized in rain. Every freedom check got our ink inside. Every law that breathes, somebody dies. So we got the roots, we protect the sound. Keep truth upright when they water it down. This is a living age, not a trend, a legacy they couldn't bend. We built the path, we paid the toll. Our stories written in heart and soul. This is a living age. This is a people who made the world their own. From the field to the mic, to the law, to the pen, we rise, we fight, we build again.
They copy the love for price. We paid in blood, not just enough. They see the fruit, ignore the tree. My roots don't fade in history. 400 years and we still gave life. Freedom ain't gifted, we fought that fight. So when you see us stand, see honor in view. We ain't new faces, we the proof in the glue.
This ain't paperwork, this ain't politics. It's the melody of mothers who hum us through fire. The rhythm of fathers who've been still and still smile. We keep the gate not out of fear, but out of love for what we build. This is a living.
You can hear it breathe
Through every song and every seed, we don't beg for space. We claim our place, stamped in sweat, in faith, in grace. It's a lineage, know the tone of people who turn their grind to stone. We don't need permission, we are the source, built by hand, we the original force. Hey.
Oh.
There's not a it's blood lineage.
Okay, I see all y'all coming up in here. DSB, my brother, how you doing? Shalom. Let's see. Got a couple of my little tunes to go through. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Okay.
Mike Larry, oh my God. I don't know what you did to create, but oh my God, this song right here, they gonna
happy with some of that Aurora breeze. Like you share.
Sorry, marriage. Mike Larry, thank you. We open doors that they walking through, built a house and shared a view. Somewhere along the line, they forgot to set the table. We gave the blueprint. Now they changing the label. You can copy the rhythm, but not the pain. You could sing the note, but not the chain. We cried in the fire, but came out cold. Still holding the story. We showed the world how to stand tall, and we ain't falling for the same games at all. This time we know what we're facing. We're reclaiming our foundation. This is delineation, a separation born revelation. We drew the line to keep our power sacred. We got a soul, can't fake it, can't fake it. This is delineation. We hold the root, they chase the vibration. We ain't hating, we preserving the truth. That's delineation. Too long we fed the world and went hungry. Shared our plate, but they called us ugly. Now we see the mask and the smiles face low. Can't build the future if they don't wanna know. We stood in the storm, they danced in the calm. Took our rhythm, tried to steal our song. But the melody lives where the struggle been. You can't touch soul if you ain't live within. We love the people. Every queen and king gotta can't fight for freedom, then hide from the fight. If you eat at the table, you better bring life. Oh, through the nation, we ain't breaking, we awaken. We ain't breaking, we awaken. That line divine, we claim again instead. Not division, it's preservation. So you can't tether the truth, can't still control. This is delineation. A love that's proud and a pain that's patient. We ain't hating, we're cultivating the rules. That's delineation.
Yo, what you looking at, man?
Man, I'm listening to All Viral Access Media, bro. You need to check this out.
Yo, check that out, man. You already know. You better check this channel out. All Viral Access Media, man. We out.
Yeah. Everybody want to link up till it's time to hold weight. Let's talk about these
You show up when the shine come on. Never there when the grind too long. You want my rhythm, but not my rain. My story's sweet, but you skip the pain. I see the reach, I feel the pull. Fake love sound beautiful. You tired of take, I'm tired of truth. Can't drag me down, I cut that loose.
I move with purpose, not for clout.
Oh, I know what loyalty's about. Oh,
You can't fake roots with borrowed chain.
oh, real ones bleed before they gain. Oh,
They put up, but they don't stay real. All that talk, but they never build. Always want a piece of the globe, but the flame too hot, they can't control. Cut them, let the truth unfold. We don't bend, we just turn to gold. Trying to ride our lane, but this soul too deep, can't be explained. I gave game, they gave excuses. Shared the meal, they took the juices. Now they dance like they made the groove. But we the ones that pay those dues. Ain't no shortcuts through the storm. You can't fake struggle to look reborn. Respect the source, that's all I need. But if you leash love, I make it bleed.
we ain't bitter, we well.
We just got what's rare.
You can't tell it to the throne.
You ain't help lay that stone.
You can't tell it to the throne. You can't tell it to the throne. They pull up, but they can't stay real. They built this heart from iron and steel. Reaching for the crown, but the roots too strong to pull us down. Yeah, yeah, we free at last. Cut the cord, now the future's back. You can change its name. We the soul, the sound, the flame. Yeah.
No ties, no strings. It ain't love, it's not the thing. We cut tethers and we ride.
That's my shit. That is my shit right there. Got two more fairly well. I get started. I like this song though.
We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. People call you crazy when you stand over justice. If you have no heart, then you're not about justice. Put the mind to the pedal and the foot on the gas. Hit the overdrive, tower coming at last. Everybody wants to eat when my people stay hungry. Blood in the book, slavery with this country. Came to this land by forced migration. Built this nation on blacks and plantations. You got nerve calling my people lazy. If you labor with interest, then you're gonna pay me. This ain't a moral problem, this is all about cash. 40 acres and a mule, stop hiding the stash. Karma hits you harder than a case of whiplash. Evidence is overwhelming, there is nowhere to dash. If you wanna run away, you'll be hitting the wall. Till you pay for reparations, you will steadily fall. What? Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. We stay on code when I'm messing with you. We put this country red, white, and blue. If you don't like it, then you can kick rocks. As a collective, we're juggernauts. Light up the beats, start up the flame. Where's the money? You are to blame. Give me the cash, give me this land. This is our country, this is for fam. Call to sin, it's really a crime. Debt is due, haven't paid us a dime. Politics is your oppression. Blacks do time, we make Smith and Wesson. We don't make crack, lock us up for weed. They got our wealth, yes sir, indeed. But soil will see, don't need you to lead. Cause all that you let is making my people bleed. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard,
Yeah, that's my trouble right there.
it's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. And what you heard, we stay on code.
You know what do you like to pussy? Jesus. Said he's here. Who cares? They're like, I didn't invite you over here. Like, no. He's here. It's tripping. Tripping. Glad to know you're back in the building, class. Can you answer my text message, please? All right. One more. Almost done. This is a queue. I didn't realize that somebody a queue. So at least I'm in the marketing competition right now. Shit.
Now, Mike, why you got me saying this shit? Love it though. Other races got their checks, their peace, their closure. We still got promises, but denying over and over. We built this shit, y'all were never here. Watch the wealth move everywhere but here. We marched for freedom, they cashed in on ours. Sat in the rain, they danced in the showers. Every bill with our name got stalled, rewritten. They quote our pain like scripture, but never listen. This ain't a handout, this a debt loan due. History knows it and the world do too. Pay what's owed, cut the check, bitch. reparations now, cut it now, stop playing with our check, bitch. We lived in movements, open the door, then watched immigrants take the floor. Every law we bled to make was shared, but when it's our turn, they dirty ass never there. Immigrant seats block the claims we made. In political seats throwing shade, saying if they can't pay, we can't get paid. Now that's the shit that can have you getting sprayed. Yeah. Green cards is your reparations, you're a hater. Here's our invoice for centuries of labor. The shift is here, paradigm real. Either cut the check or somebody will get. Until that day we gotta tighten up, build our own, pull our resources, we gotta tighten up. No more envy, no quiet. One code, one vision, one side. Group economics, that's the seed. Self-repair before they lead. No jealousy, no fear, no stall. Together we rise, or not at all. This ain't a handout, it's a dead long due. History knows it and the world do too. Pay what's owed, cut the check, bitch. Reparations now, cut it now. Stop playing with our check, bitch. This is the shift, the correction, the call. We built the foundation, we own it all. RVA forever. It's not begging, it's a debt that old. Stupid ass.
That's at All Viral Access Media, man. Yeah. In this, I guess it's on its platform. This whole album's on its platform, which is pretty decent actually. I use probably most of it for our little openings because I and Mr. Paris had an understanding. So like I need you to moderate shit. Ain't nobody in here. You need to be moderating. Anyway, I'm about to talk about your ass. Hold on. Okay, so I and Mr. Paris had an understanding, but he keeps moving the motherfucking goalpost, so I have to move the goalpost. So here's the understanding, which was so we had like, prior to something happening, I can't remember what the fuck happened, right? Tell Jesse to give it to you since he's passing out wrenches everywhere. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. So that Jesse do it. Hey, Breeze, I didn't ask you to put my motherfucking. I didn't ask anybody. But goddamn it, Jesse hand out wrenches. Fuck's sake, man. And you be passing them out everywhere on your show. Then we got like 15 fucking moderators that I didn't even fucking ask for. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm still part of that too. Jesus. All right, now back to us. He just gonna piss me the fuck off today. It's all gonna be Breeze's fault for antagonizing him and encouraging his buffoonery. All right, now listen, we have an understanding. So the understanding is I do shit differently over here, meaning I have different like little tunes that I like to play over here, right? Just like he plays different little tunes over there, right? For Frontline Black News, okay? Because he's like in control. He has to be in control, right? So right there, okay? Then neither the two shall meet, so they have to be completely different, right? Same message, different fucking outcomes, okay? So I do that over here. Now, I had told him, I stated specifically, you have your particular broadcasters that you like to highlight and share in Signal Boost. I have different ones over here. And not necessarily I'm trying to signal boost some white information. I'm just trying to give our people the right information that's not being touched on or tapped into. Okay. So that's the understanding. Now it used to just be 3. I can't remember what the fuck happened with it, but we had Cookies and shit opening up the show. And I think it was just the internet, something happened, right, with our streamer. I don't remember what happened, but we couldn't share his because he used to be on the backside. He used to be something on the backside, like in the back stage, like the shit I could do from here that you guys see up there. And I can't remember what happened because we had it on a specific account that was being used for Frontline Black News. And then Jesse, they kept shadow banning, so and it keeps opening and restarting new streamer subscriptions and shit under different fucking emails. It's too hard for me to fucking keep up with. I got like 2. That's it. That's all. You know what I mean? Fuck whatever happens to those 2, man. I am not building no more. That shit is tedious and fucking stupid. I hate building accounts. I hate filling in the filling work. I hate that. That shit is fucking ridiculous. Thought it's fine going on. Just fill it in for me, shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just upsetting. So we have I have to build parameters, right? Because I don't share my shit, probably because, Jesse thinks I'm stupid and nobody likes me. So I don't share that shit because that's what he said. So also too, I have a problem with colorism and motherfucker, I'm shy like Erykah Badu, goddammit. But now I'm starting to think that maybe we should just see what happens. I only use one platform because I was shadow banned off of Twitter or X or whatever the fuck it's called. The day that Neely Fuller Jr. died. I remember that day clearly. It was a very upsetting day. When he passed away, that's when I got banned from Twitter. And I haven't tried to reinstate that either. Which I probably should. I don't know how to use, I don't use TikTok and all this shit. So right now I'm just currently sharing on this right here through notification or whatever. Right. Just start opening up, be more like, I don't know, maybe I share it around a little bit more. It's just that I can't stand, it's not that it's like I'm already fighting with people all day long. You see what I'm saying? On a regular basis in person. Like, that's all I do is argue with motherfuckers in my face. Like physically in my face. So then I don't want to have to argue with motherfuckers on the internet either. Because they let the shade deflect the fucking message. Which the answer is don't let the shade deflect the message. You see what I'm saying? So that's where that's at. I don't know how to do the wrenches thing. I think I have to do it on YouTube. So I don't know how to do it from here. And it's really kind of something I need to learn how to do. Because I don't remember if I gave Mac one. Nope. All I can do is from here. I think I got to do it on YouTube. Jesse has access to all of that. So, Jesse, if you're still in the building, we have access to my side of the computer, my side of the internet on your laptop. You just go ahead and breathe and whoever else up in there. Did you feel like everybody should get a fucking wrench? Everybody get a wrench. I just come from the thought process of wrenches are earned. You know what I mean? Like it's like a privilege. It's not just anybody, everybody can have it. But who fucked that up and started giving out wrenches like that? It was FBA news and updates. Yep, our brother over there. You go into his shit and as soon as you see it, he just give you a wrench right off the top. So that fucked it up for everybody. Now everybody expects that wrench. I don't even expect one. And I feel like I have earned one for some places. You know what I mean? I'll be moderate. But we, also too, that's another thing of being kind of exclusively to y'all. Is not that for everybody. You don't have motherfucking white people come up in here or tell me anything. You don't just have randoms in here. Pretty much just got the basic family because I'm not sleazy like that. I'm not sleazy like that. Let's get to it. Let's talk about the show. Hold on a sec. Let me get to the next thing. So family, thank you for putting up with those little 6 videos. We're gonna start with 2 salacious as maybe 3 salacious as videos first. Okay, and they're just stuff I already covered. Right. So the first one we're gonna start with is about Charleston White and Dr. Candace Matthews, right? Hold on a second. Let's just get it over there.
With Dr.
That's what we're gonna start with because I went over that. Yes, go ahead. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you very much for just go ahead and do that. Because you have access to to my side of things on your laptop. That sounds so funny. Get on my side of the internet on your laptop, cause All right. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for helping me out. Go ahead and pass them out to whomever. Thank you, Michael, for I see you too, Michael. Who else is in here? DSB, Breezy, Jesse. All right. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So if I missed anybody, just let me know now. But thank you all very much for coming in. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna go with three things. Okay. We start with that. We're gonna watch something about damaging your neck, um, and then we're gonna watch a salacious video about Colorado, and then we're gonna go a salacious video about transformers in Colorado, and then we're gonna go to we're probably gonna be really in Colorado for a minute. For a good little bit of this time, we're gonna be in Colorado. We're gonna talk about this ice airplanes is a big thing. That's it. Then we're gonna talk about Excel Energy a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna show something that was I'm gonna show one of Lisa Cabrera's videos that Jesse already covered and went through like 5 days ago, 6 days, or 3 days ago, 4 days ago, on Frontline Black News. It was talking about the energy. So we talk about that. So we're gonna spend a lot of that bulky time in Colorado. Then we're gonna go to the regular politics, and I think that's about it. I think that will be there. We're also gonna talk about flat cameras, and I think that's about it. So we're gonna do that. I wanted to tell y'all that I was watching. Just to tell y'all, update you what I was watching. I started watching this show called Lucky. It's really good. I recommend y'all watch it. I can't really explain it. I just know that this bride is being hunted because they think she stole some money. That's it. She didn't. It's getting pretty fucking tenuous. I'm also watching a show called Furious, and it's about somebody being trafficked and now going out for revenge. That's pretty good. That's on Hulu. What else? Season 4 of The Witcher is out, so I'm watching that. And my brother hates when I'm watching The Witcher because he said I got one of my peacoats that I was tampered with. Yeah, look, I used to sew a lot, right? And I used to be really good at sewing, and one of my coats, I was basically changing up, one of my peacoats, and he said because of the way I have it designed, he calls it the Witcher jacket. He has names for all my peacoats that are hanging up right here. Like names, everyone, like everything has a fucking name to it. He walks by, he says, Colt 45, right? the motherfucker. He's like you talking about a fucking Brooklyn Rabbit. Yeah, it's like he just has names for everything. It's fucking stupid. He made me laugh. But then when he came across that way, he said he called it you're welcome. You're welcome, Jesse. Thank Jesse because he's the only one with the knowledge to know how to do it. I was teasing him, giving him a hard time because he won't answer my damn text. Just like always. Like Jesus Christ. He calls it The Witcher because I cut the sleeves off of it, right? Yeah. Let Jesse know that when you get a wrench on the other side too. Yeah, he calls it The Witcher because I cut the sleeves off and shit. All right, look. I like to wear my hoodies underneath, right? When it's cold, I like to wear hoodies underneath my peacoat, right? Because some of my peacoats are wool and they don't have hoods on them. I pop the collar on the bitch, but sometimes I like to ride around with my hood up. You know what I mean? I got the sleeves off and shit. I was fixing it, and he's like The Witcher, and he just walks up. So that was season 4. Season 4 now he's like, and he can hear it from the other room. He's like, "Oh, you doing that shit again? You watching The Witcher again? You always on some shit." Yeah, that's on now. So I'm back up in it. I haven't seen any new. I have seen some new movies. I saw this one movie with what's called The Stepfather. Fuck, it has one of our FBA brothers in it. I can't think of his name right now. I gotta look at the phone. Everything I was watching is like engage in watchable yet to be B-rated quality. You know what I mean? What I say? Okay, that's it. That's a good answer to my question. So never mind then, Jesse. Because that shit closed at 8. So, all right. Yeah. So I was watching that. I've been watching any new movies, and I haven't seen any new movies yet. I try to watch some good movies, but I can't find any yet to watch that are new to this. Now I'm reading text messages. Let's get started, okay? Oh, also too, Jesse, I don't need to know how to split this motherfucking screen so that I can work on I was working on Jesse's campaign. Jesse's campaign, so his website. That's what I'm gonna be doing on the backside, multitasking, okay? Like I was doing last time. So I just wanted y'all to know that, because in case I'm not like y'all in here just chopping it up amongst yourselves and giggling and shit. I won't be able to see it right away because I don't know how to the goddamn screen. Yeah, it's Friday, so I want to make sure I had everything taken care of before I got in here. Let's go over here. So we'll start off with the Charleston White thing because that's the last thing that we had started. We were talking about the last time the RVA where this reporter is capping. Stated whatever the fuck he says right now, which I've already heard, is really being salacious. I think that, in my personal opinion, this salaciousness is only causing him to up his bag off the backs of his broad. That's all I'm going to say to that, and you'll see why here momentarily. I want to thank all of you for coming in, little five eyeballs, coming in here and chilling with me on the RVA, a revolutionary agenda. So we're gonna get started. And I'm multitasking, family, so I have to get this work done before Monday. I already finished some flyers, but I got to get this shit done because if not, all right, bet. That's not your bet. Okay. Jesse, you seen the give at West next a wrench, please, sir. All right, and thank you. Yeah, I gotta do it because we're gonna start passing out flyers. Tomorrow's a annual neighborhood event. Annual neighborhood event. So that's kind of like something. And then there's another little event at the high school also, which is predominantly a lot of black people. So, which is a good thing. You know, every time you get to see a lot of black people in one space, it's a beautiful thing. So, I have already got some of this stuff done. I'll show you, but I don't really know if I can bring it all up. So I will get to that as the time progresses and I get stuff moving around. Okay, so let's get started. Charleston White. All right. Yeah. Okay. He's talking about the event, right? Here you go. Play. Come on now. You always see me pushing the button. Play, I said play, bitch.
Candace personally invite me to her birthday party. But her birthday was 4 days ago. When I get to the event, it ain't a birthday cake. It ain't a happy birthday. For 3 hours, it was nothing but political talk. For 2 hours, Dr. Candace assured me as well as her team. Everything is okay. You good here. She kept assuring me. I saw the energy change. The guy, I saw the energy change. Why? Candace personally invite me to her birthday party. But her birthday was 4 days ago. When I get to the event, it ain't a birthday cake. It ain't a happy birthday. For 3 hours, it was nothing but political talk. For 2 hours, Dr. Candace assured me, as well as her team, everything is okay. You good here. She kept assuring me. I saw the energy change. The guy, I saw the change. Why? Dr. Candace tried to introduce me to the who set the play.
Charleston White is now coming out and accusing Dr. Candace Matthews of setting him up with Jay Prince in the Fifth Ward. He also speaks on the situation that was going viral on Instagram where Dr. Candace Matthews and another dude had interviewed somebody who claims that Popeye's chicken had left a condom and fried it inside of their chicken.
Just remember, everybody, when everybody's talking all this shit, just remember where you heard it first or where you saw it first, all that shit. It happened here at the RVA. I just got to give myself credit because nobody gives me no fucking credit. They don't tell me I did a good job, tell you how smart I am, none of that shit. So you wonder why motherfucker is building like the shit is because I got to tell myself I have this shit. God damn it. What I was going to say is, I have something to say. Just remember all this shit happened. We already went over that. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Just because I started off with something else. I forgot what I was going to say. Carry on. Let me carry on.
Let's see what Charleston White had to say.
I was complaining. I ain't even going to throw their name out there because I don't speak evil. But I was complaining about them same people recently. And I happened to say, man, let me check in on OG. I was typing your interview in. I ain't even peep. I said, boy, look at the universe.
Hey, homie, you know what? You know what's the saddest thing about all this, my nigga? Dr. Candace got on the phone and tried to play like she didn't invite me down there, nigga. Hold on, wait. Hey, wait. I'm on my way to go do all the interview. That's why I'm not really talking about it right now. Because people paying me to come do the interview. I got Vlad TV this week. I got Say Cheese TV this week. I got Adam 22. I got 607 Monk. I got the Chill Wheel Show. Nigga, I got 7 interviews this week. Hey,
see what I'm talking about? Because that's why this salacious shit cannot be taken seriously. He basically is old girl invited him, right? We knew that. We knew he was capping. We knew he was lying, right? So we knew all that because that one brother, the big old son brother, broke down the fucking psychology of it all, right? He done broke it down. He done told the truth, right? He done spilled the motherfucking beans because he don't like this motherfucker and this motherfucker's an asshole. And he's stupid, right? And he was being salacious over there at the party, right? So we already know what happened, right? All right, fine. Yeah, he shot off 2 rounds too, or a round or one round, 2 rounds, by himself in a car as he's speeding off, making fucking salacious ass videos, right? Secondly, we knew this, but because we covered it already 2 days back. Now, what I say is he make him try to look. This broad should really call him and check him and cancel his motherfucking interviews. Why? Because he's making money off of her fucking birthday party event and her inviting him. And whether or not, hey, look, the bitch want to do whatever the bitch want to do at her motherfucking birthday party. Who is anybody to stop it? If she want to make that shit fucking 3 hours of fucking politics and performance of fucking political theater, that's her motherfucking birthday party. She can do whatever the fuck she wants on her motherfucking birthday party. Okay, so while you sit up there judging, if he's worried about 2 hours for her checking in on his weird, fucking uncomfortable, awkward acting ass, then that's on him too. If you would have presented that motherfucking energy, I guess the problem wouldn't have to check on you. So while you're doing all that, he's making money off this broad. Okay? Now, as much as this broad has been doing messy shit, that's still, you still don't get to tokenize the fucking situation and profit off of that, because you know you ain't gonna kick down some money to that broad for you using you slandering her like that. That's slander. This is slander. By the way, guys. This is slander. Because he's accusing her of something she didn't do, right? Or she didn't contribute to, allegedly. Like, so she's gonna call you out. You're the one that should, out of all the fuck nuts we have, you're the one that we should just throw out there to alleged J Prince, alleged shit, right? You gonna be it out of all the fuck nuts we have. You're gonna be the target. She gonna call you personally and have you come up there and keep you late. Come on now, cuz stop the motherfucking cap. You're not that special. So, like I'm saying, he making money off of this broad's party, off of him gossiping like a hoe, off of him running and telling, you know what I mean, doing some real stitch ass bark ass shit like he always does. He's basically doing that. So if I was her, if it was me and I was her, no matter what the fuck was doing on my birthday and where the fuck my party was and whoever I had over there and whatever I was doing or wasn't doing, my motherfucking shit, I could do whatever the fuck I feel like, but God dare you slander that and then go make some money off of it. You see, that's a motherfucking product that likes to go fuck around at the court and it's capping everything that you would say. She's still that fucking product that'll still drag you and put you out there like that with their own little messaging fucking crew. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I would stop. I would do it because he's just basically said them motherfuckers pay for interviews. All three of those, all five, all six of those platforms, like 5, 6 platforms, they all pay for interviews. So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you're making a bag. You're basically making a bag, telling whatever tales you want to tell. Hold on. Yes.
Dr. Candace Matthews won't be able to talk that talk no more, man. She really, my nigga. I'm gonna release my phone record. I'm gonna release my phone records so to show y'all to connect the dots. My flight was supposed to leave at 1:00 that day. My flight was supposed to leave at 1:00. I'm live on TikTok when Dr. Candace personally invite me to her birthday party. But her birthday was 4 days ago. When I get to the event, it ain't a birthday cake. It ain't a happy birthday. For 3 hours, it was nothing but political talk. For 2 hours, Dr. Candace assured me, as well as her team, everything is okay. You good here. She kept assuring me. I saw the energy change. The guy, I saw the energy change. Why? Dr. Candace tried to introduce me to who set the play. They said, I don't put that. My back was turned. I turned around and said, who is that, Dr. Candace? She said, oh, don't worry about it. I said, no, I heard what they said. Yeah, nigga, I heard, and I made it be known I heard what they said. Then went directly to Dr. Candace's husband and bent down, and they started having a private conversation where nobody heard them.
That's Houston for you.
They're pointing at me. I'm looking at them. Dr. Candace's husband see me looking. He get up and come directly to me and start laughing. And I said, man, I see that nigga. What's up with that nigga? He said, man, that say you sent you a picture of his. If you heard that video, when I'm getting in the car before the shots, you heard that say, why y'all protecting that? That sent me in the picture go off. For 2 hours, I watched them take pictures of me. I'm telling Dr. Candace, say, man, what's up with that nigga over there taking pictures? Now, she
right here right now.
So check this out. A whole night went by. Dr. Candace never asked to say, brother, you okay? I heard the shots, brother, you all right? She waited a whole day to call me the next afternoon, midday, saying, brother.
Buffering.
Coming down on me. They trying to make it look I brought you here. I said, you did, Doc. Brother, it was a public event. So when I noticed what she was, I went along with it. Till I realized she was throwing me under the bus. Why? They threw me under the bus because they lied and said, didn't nobody shoot at me, that I pulled up to an event, hung outside the car, drove off, and I shot. And Dr. Candace went along with that lie until Hellcat released the footage. Dr. Candace didn't know we had on meta glasses. They didn't know we had on meta glasses. until we drop the footage. Now they don't want to talk. Now they don't want to talk. Now they want to switch the subject like ain't nothing happened.
Oh, cuz.
She don't know the FBI is involved now, Dr. Candace. She don't know the FBI is involved now, Dr. Candace. Why? This was a political
son of a bitch. Are you serious? Like, I hate that shit, cuz y'all motherfuckers, like, that's some sorry ass shit. That is some sorry ass shit. Oh my God. Thank you, Jeff. That's what I needed. Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to ask you for. Everybody single like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I was like the opposite always. Yeah, no. That motherfucker is a liar. And like, not only is he a liar, but like, that's that sneaky shit. Like, look, okay, the motherfucker, I ain't gonna front. I contemplated that a few times. Getting some motherfucking metal glasses, right? But I did it. I didn't. There ain't nobody's done it. Like, you know why we haven't done this? Yeah. Yeah, see? All right. Thanks, finally. It's because Jesse don't want a divorce. That's why he's saying that. That's why he's saying that. Because he knows. He knows. We're going to get a divorce anytime now. Welcome. And thank you for coming in. Okay, yeah, let's see. Let me go put that back up there, Jesse. Thank you. I was looking for this. I was looking for it the other day on the show. I started, so it's pinned in there, right? All right, cool. Just in case, we weird as black people sometimes, right? And think motherfucker capitalizing on other people's work. But let's just play it for the record. I don't even have that much viewership, so can't nobody. I'm not capitalizing on shit. I'm just sharing the content and reacting to it. Why? Because it's fucking salacious. This is salacious, right? And not only salacious, but that fucking activity right there is nefarious. Okay, yeah, no, I know we had on meta glasses. Blah blah blah. First of all, why in the fuck would you do that? You just gonna go into some broad's birthday party with meta glasses? For what? Fuck nigga. Why would you do that? And then you sit there and you over there, like I said, the brother, the rotund brother, broke it down with all the fucking facts the other episode. You know what I mean? But why in the fuck would you do that? What the fuck are you looking for? That you must be not only a fucking snitch ass, bitch ass, mark ass fucking man, right? Or whatever, right? That now you gotta add gadgets to your snitching fucking activity, right? Like, you're gonna make it to where motherfuckers can't wear glasses at all. Like, because motherfuckers don't like being spied on. I know I sure don't like being spied on. I hate that shit. I hate when like, for example, I'll give you a prime example, right? My dude is always recording some shit, right? And I've been out in the world far too long. I don't think I've ever been civilized. Like a feral ass animal, okay? I've been civilized. Like, I don't know what he's doing it, right? So we come back, we mobbing around from some event, whatever, right? Prime example, this happens all the time, right around, right? And we doing the vote. We just started there, he's talking. The whole time he was filming the event, okay? And I might have been really kind of reactive, push up. I'll give you a prime example. We was at a fucking pool, and I was talking shit to the white people, right? White people try to talk, I'm glad you said so. They try to touch on me and shit. And I'm ill and pushing back, like, ew, yeah, like, gross. What do I do next? Yeah, I don't really know how to react, right? And I'm like, all right, you like, whatever. Like, they expect me to be internally grateful that I called them out. And then they came back and told me thank you. And I was supposed to feel some kind of way. Bitch, I feel no kind of way. I feel nothing. Matter of fact, it would be real behoove me if you get your white ass away from me. That's how I'm thinking, right? However, I don't know how to, it comes out in public. It looks a little awkward. A little gross. Don't touch me, right? I don't care what you think. You know what I mean? So, yes, I know. Anyway, so on the way back, right now we was talking amongst ourselves. We're outside, and I'm situating myself for the drive back home. Right, because I done started slouching and shit, and my hair all frizzy because I said because we was at the pool. I was just talking shit, talking to other people, right? Whatever, talking about the topic of trees, right? How many trees are there? So now we're mobbing. We only got like 2 blocks, maybe 3 to walk back. right? So we're walking, and the whole time, I think he's talking to me or whatever. I'm talking to him. I can't really hear what he's saying. I'm just talking, right? Typical Aries shit. I'm just talking. I didn't know he was still filming. I'm talking about the brother that was showing us stuff. I was like, oh yeah, he was in the sexy look today. I was like, yeah, I said, but cuz did you see the lift off on the lace front? He got a man stall, and his shit was lifted up on the corner. Cuz did you see it? There was a peel up on the corner. Like he didn't have time to lay it down and stick it down. It started to peel up on the corner. Cuz did you see that? Talking about look at all the trees on Welton. Right? I'm still talking all this hot shit because he had a lace front lift up. Right. I said, cousin, lift it off. Did you see it? I was like, God damn. I said, I knew there was something different from like earlier this summer when we saw him over there with this Cordell West shit. Next thing you know, he over there just mobbing around with his shirt, right? And he had his shirt all open like fucking Saturday Night Fever and shit. And now he's in this sexy look with his little motherfucking dress pants and shit. And his open shirt, open dress shirt. Yeah, I mean, he thinks he's sexy now, right? He got his little line up, fade up with the little black fucking shoe grease or shoe polish fucking, darkening, creating a motherfucking hairline. I can dig it, man. And then he had a man stall. Well, he asked me how I know what a man stall is because my brother versed me on it fucking a few years back when he said somebody was doing man installs, making man wigs. It was a few years back. This is before it became a thing, right? Before even lace fronts was a thing. He was telling me about it. I said, somebody chat said, hey, can I interest you in a conversation? What are those kind of conversations start? So then he introduced me to man installs. And I thought that shit was fucking great. I was laughing. I couldn't fucking stop laughing. It's still fucking funny to me, right? So I was telling Jesse, I was live. He was live. I didn't even know he was live. I was just sitting there. I was like, did you see cuz with his lift off cuz? And the corner was peeling up like a bad piece of like a bad sticker gone bad and you need replacement. He started peeling up around the corners and shit. I'm talking all this shit all the way back, right? And then we get to the house, I'm still talking shit, right? About this motherfucking man, so I was like clowning, making jokes, right? And I turned around and look, I said, are you still recording? He said, yeah, I've been recording this whole time. I said, this whole motherfucking time, cuz? And that's what I was like, man, I've been sitting here talking shit about motherfucking Haruni and motherfucking. I hate that shit, right? Because he does it on purpose. He knows he's doing it on purpose, okay? He's intentionally like, he's recording just to be recorded. Like, he could have stopped the shit, or he could have told me he was still, like, shh, I'm still recording, man. But no, there was no motherfucking consideration. So I'm just like, right? That's that shit I don't like, right? And this has been going on for 5-6 motherfucking years. Or he'll pop in after the motherfucking food bake, and the motherfucker at home, like not dressed for visitors, let alone videos. Okay, because the motherfucker just they kicking it in a fucking natural fucking pajamas. God damn it! And here he come. Fucking filming from the motherfucking food bake and still talking to the people. And I'm like, cuz, don't do that. They're like you cut that shit off at the door or something. Or let a motherfucker know, like you know, I'm still on coming in, I'm still on the phone, I'm still recording. You know what I mean? Like let a motherfucker know. You know, it just catches a motherfucker. So this sneaky shit, which I call it, which I think that's what he do, right? And I think Jesse feel it. I was like, damn, why you do that? Like, you take away my way of denying I said the shit. You know, my lie around. You made me you just took that from me, kid. Like, maybe I want to have that. I want to lie and say I didn't want to say it, or I did say it, or whatever. But you know, took that from me. You didn't even give me an opportunity. Like, you know what I mean? Let a motherfucker have an opportunity, a chance to lie. God damn it! Like, why you take my chance? But that's that sneaky shit, right? What he's talking about, he said, you don't know it, but we didn't know we all had meta classes. I'm about to release my footage. Woo, woo, woo. You old fucking whack ass bitch. Like, why would you do such a thing? And you know what? Like, if it was me, I'd be like, man, leave glasses and you phone, everything. Nah, just a private event. Like that, I wouldn't have nobody in there because nobody can follow the rules. Like I can't live without my phone. I can't see without my glasses. Well, I guess you fucked up. You fucked. Let me look at him real quick. Let me scan it with my little device. See if it's these meta glasses over there stitching on motherfuckers. Like that's horrible. That's horrible. Now you got gadgets to enhance your snitching. That's fucking ridiculous. That's stupid. I hate that shit. I can't stand it. I can't stand all of that. Right? It's stupid. His hair was like, yeah. Yeah, his fucking Charleston White don't have no hair. His hairline's about to fade into the black. Like serious shit. It's about to fade into the black. You see, it's already like, doing some weird coloring and shit. Like who dyes the crown, the motherfucking soft spot blonde and the rest of it brown? Like you know what I mean? And I left it at the dude on the bottom because that's how I got my hair tied up right now. That's how I got my hair tied up right now. Jesus. Let me get back to it. And with a motherfucking blue flag. Again, now stop gangbanging for some odd reason. Just kidding.
Event, not a birthday party. That shots was fired while political candidates was in prison. This is a different kind of investigation.
What's up with this eye right here?
Checkmate. Now, at first, remember, they tried to make me look like a liar. Right. He's lying. He lying. Didn't nobody shoot no gun. He popped up on his own. Now they try to make it look like, oh, man. Now the police is involved. The FBI is involved. Now Dr. Candace Nim is frying chicken with condoms in it. Now they're trying to blame Popeye like Popeye's in their house, frying chicken in the condom. And then bit the chicken perfectly just to see the condom. They playing, y'all. They did not find a condom in that chicken. They lying like they ain't just perfectly found no perfectly cooked condom in no chicken and ain't no flour on it. Ain't no flour on the condom.
First of all, you don't know that because it was we showed that. I showed that first, right? I showed that. They come in there with a receipt and a video evidence of a brother opening up his fucking food, right? And finding that. Go back. All right, because it was already grossed out. These motherfuckers were running around in there making clowny lights and shit, talking about doggy style and chicken and shit. And Jesse was typing out chicken with 2 C's in the chat. So that was highly abused. But no, we're not going over that again. He lying. How you know there wasn't no motherfucking flour? Look, cuz like they don't really do all their, let me just break this down. Fast food people, right? They don't really be flouring chicken like that. They go ahead and open a bag in the back of the refrige, right? Dump that bag into a basket, throw that basket into some motherfucking grease and shit, and let that shit cook on its own. You realize that, right? Like, you realize they wouldn't be trusted motherfuckers just to do that, right? Okay, so it ain't really that hard to see if a motherfucker trying to be a nasty motherfucker to grab some chicken and just crack that bitch open a little bit, slide this motherfucking nasty ass rubber in there, pan it down a little bit, and just throw it in some grease. All right? I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't even have to do too much thinking. I can think about 5 different ways that I got in there, or how whoever put it in there did it. Okay? Look, if you had to, let's say you making it by hand, all right, I'll go with that. You're not the only one making the chicken by hand, cuz you're on a roll, you're on a line, right? There's a motherfucker that grabbed the chicken, he passes it to the next motherfucker and floured the chicken. Next motherfucker take the chicken and put it in the grease. Yeah, it's a roll, it's a line, right? Because no one person can do all this stuff and be so fucking heavily populated. Fucking Popeyes be banging out chicken boxes, yes, banging them out. And then, like, where they're showing it, they're in, like, one of them truck stop convergences, like, merge off things where, like, we have here, that's what I call it. Like, they're right off the highway for the truckers, right? You can go in there to get gas, There sometimes they got like little gas stations, then they got little trucker services, like you can wash your ass up in there, woo, 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 you know, like a little shower, freshen up type shit for the truckers, whatever. Then they got a restaurant. They got the restaurants merged with like Taco Bell or Pizza Hut or some fucking crazy shit, depending on where you're at, what city is. These are like all attached to like a Flying J or whatever fucking truckers use. You know what I mean? So we have a whole bunch of them out here. We got like several. Like you can go down I-70, you gonna run into some shit, right? And so we have it. We have those kind of merging like restaurant slash gas station slash trucker stops. Okay, that's kind of like that. So I don't necessarily, don't quote me, I don't necessarily think that was a trucker stop, but it was a fucking restaurant within a gas station like setup or convenience store setup. You know, whatever you want to say, however you want to address your gas station convenience store needs, because some people play semantics with the bullshit, but it is what it is, right? So they in there. They came in with a video. They came in with a receipt, and they came in with the brother that got the shit, right? So that was what was happening. How he know there was no motherfucking flour on it? Are you working there, cuz? No, you're not. So stop fucking playing. Yeah, they were being kind of salacious with it, but that we already seen the motherfucking video. He don't know shit. He just knows as much as we know. Shit.
The condom didn't melt in that grease. They want us to believe that a condom went into some grease and fried chicken and fried with the condom. Fried, no. Boy, that's some, I call down. Now they running down Popeyes. They ain't got no lawsuit. All they want the people to do is to get eat free chicken. Hey, y'all.
Man, you know, it doesn't really, I'm sorry about that. I don't really know why, actually, listen, I'm just gonna say the condom didn't melt. Okay, that's what they, right? I don't really know about the technology of fucking Trojans and magnets, okay? And I just know that accidental pregnancies are very, very rare in the last few years, right? So I just say. However, it wouldn't be too far to say this, that we got rubber cabbage, rubber greens, motherfucking food that does not basically rot the way it used to rot. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't really be too much of a stretch that the chicken and the chicken batter or whatever the fuck they're using isn't really, isn't really like how it used to be either. You see what I'm saying? The fact is that it didn't have a wrapper. That was gross as fuck. But let's just keep it very honest. Like, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to know that these things that they've been making now that are polluting us are made with different types of fucking ingredients and shit, and including and not the motherfucking makeup for a rubber. You know what I mean? They've been very good. They've been evolving with fucking rubbers since I can remember. That thus to limit the fucking AIDS and pregnancies and I don't know what else, right? So it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say that the mechanics of it all have changed. The chemistry has changed. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me why it didn't melt.
Free chicken and Popeye leg, thanks to Cornell Leg and Dr. Candy. We done went from hanging from the tree, hollering no justice, no peace. We want some free pieces of chicken. Free pieces of chicken to everybody. Our community activism done went all the way down to chickens and rubbers. And they standing in front of the cup and say, if you eat this chicken, we don't know if you're going to swallow or spit. Now, they don't want to get freaky with the activism. They don't want to get freaky with the activism. What they want y'all to believe is hanging this dick over some fried grease popping. They want us to believe. And guess what? It probably wasn't long as that condom was. That wasn't no white boy condom. That wasn't a nigga condom. Condom was down to 11 inches. Hanging up.
That's what I said. I said that earlier. I did say that on the show. I said, let's keep it real. It was a Magnum. I said, did you see any white people up in there? It's a Magnum. Gold wrapper. Yeah, black box. Gold right. Yeah, some old bandingo ass motherfucking condom cuz. I mean, let's get real. It's like, let's just stick with what we know, family. Let's just stick with what we know. That's what I said. We know that it was a magnum or and beyond. Let's just stick with what we know, family. We know what our brother's working with. Hey, look, let's just keep it 100. Don't laugh at me. You know what the fuck I'm telling you. You know what I'm talking about. You know the fuck I'm telling the truth. Let's just stick with what I know. What we all know, right? Let's stick with what we know. I'm not lying. I said that shit. I said, we know. We know. That made me feel like I'm the asshole. No, sir. No, sir. I said, let's just keep it on. Stick with what we know. And we know that it was some whole fucking magnum or fucking mandingo ass motherfucking rubber up in that bitch. Well, not no little white boy shit up in there. You know, and that was what that's it. That's all, you know.
That big old chicken breast. Hey, homie, when y'all saw that rubber in that chicken, didn't y'all know? Come on now, let's just too perfect. Y'all didn't think nothing. All of a sudden, after they set Charleston up, Popeye got condoms in the chicken. So you mean to tell me got a badass lawsuit where he can go get a lawyer? He went and got a civil rights activist when he could get millions of dollars. They went and gave free chicken away. They go up the lawsuit for the boy who got the lawsuit. That's game, man. They playing. Never in my lifetime. I've been knowing Dr. Candace over 10 years when I first met over 10 years ago. She ain't never called my phone in one day. She ain't never called my phone that many times in one day. In 10 years. She called my phone one time, more time than one day than she ever have in 10 years. And not one phone call was, brother, my bad, man. I knew I should have got you out of there. Now, one time she said, man, my bad. She told me her exact words. She said, I said, say, when I got there, I said, Doc, you know where it is? She said, brother, I already called you. She said, I called James myself. She told me. She called James herself. And she said, James, I don't need none of that. It's my birthday. My brother gonna be. She told me she called him and got permission. That's why I was so comfortable. That's why I was so comfortable in James Prince's daughter's establishment in Fifth Ward. Because Dr. Candace Matthews herself, I'll take a lie detector test. I will swear under oath, and I have witnesses that Dr. Candace Matthews told me herself that she got permission from James Prince for me to be in her establishment. That's why I was so comfortable. The word on the street is James told him to go up there and do that, but don't do nothing. Dr. Candace Matthews' personal security who are all police officers. They rushed me out of there before I can go over there and make the apology. I told him I was going to do it, but I wasn't going to do it.
Oh, nasty, but before nasty white is not.
On the street is James go up there and do that.
See. I'm not around with on the phone, but just close on like, and I got a role like that called the Black Villain. It goes with Jesse's hip Cliff Hefner role. So you know that's everything got a name.
Prince's daughter's establishment in Fifth Ward. Because Dr. Candace Matthews herself, I'll take a lie detector test. I will swear under oath, and I have witnesses that Dr. Candace Matthews told me herself that she got permission from James Prince for me to be in her establishment. That's why I was so comfortable. The word on the street is James told him to go up there and do that.
A little red boy.
Don't do nothing. Dr. Candace Matthews' personal security, who are off-duty police officers, they rushed me out of there before I can go over there and make the apology. I told him I was going to do it, but I wasn't going to do it. But before I can go over there and holler at them, Dr. Candace Matthews put me on the microphone, and that was a decoy to rush me out the door as soon as I got off the microphone so I wouldn't have to go talk to them. They knew what was going on, man. Dr. Candace Matthews, off-duty police officer who was on personal protection, they saved the day. Why? They real law enforcement, and they cannot allow this to happen. That's why they're real law enforcement. So I don't want to give too much of the details away. I'm getting ready to go do Say Cheese TV.
I'll be like,
Terrence Gangster Williams. I think I'm 22. I got like 5 interviews this week that total up to almost $1.
You see?
This is a $60,000 interview week. Thanks to Houston, Texas, 5th Ward, Jay Prince, Mopalot. Normally it probably would have been a $10,000, $20,000 week. This week is a
drop. Oh, y'all watching need to show some love now. Y'all be flooding the comments when it's goofy time. Why you can't show no love now? Go ahead.
They don't want to believe. They foul mouth hero. They foul mouth because a woman of stature, grace, and power, vulgarity to get a point across. Women of stature don't use vulgar language publicly and vulgarity to solve things for the people. No woman before us have ever done that had power, had real influence. I'm sorry to say, but on Vlad TV, I'm on Dr. Candace's career. She a paid actor. She's a paid actor. Ain't got no money to pay her.
See what I'm saying? You see how slander and defamation.
She ain't gonna cuss your people out for you. And then I done found that I don't get no to the FBI in Houston by way of Dr. Candace. This is why the takeoff trial been going so long. See, Dr. Candace told me a secret that they use in Houston to slow the trials down. That's why they got Chris Daniels, the white Republican, over here with the Democrat trying to get votes. Because Chris used to be a court clerk who Dr. Candace used to pay to put the case in certain courts and then move it out of this court to slow the case down. That's why takeoff took so long. They were paying the court clerk to move it here and move it here. I got the information, y'all. Dr. Candace got loose lips. So she talked to a little bit too much. Why? She had a guilty conscience about her. So she kept talking when she normally shouldn't have been talking because she was guilty. So I'm going to break it down on Vlad TV, on the white man channel. I'm going to break it down on Say Cheese TV, on the black man channel. I got to get his truth to everybody. Why? I wouldn't have been there if Dr. Candace wasn't there. And I'm the only person who walked in that building and gave her a birthday gift that day. So it wasn't no birthday party. It was just supposed to be a birthday party to get me there. Hey, brother, can you come to my birthday party? Now, when I get there and give her the tour, that's when I find out her birthday was 4 days ago. So when I get there, it ain't a birthday party.
I've never asked.
It's a political event.
My birthday
Now, for
party.
y'all who don't know,
They got
this is the definition of a triple cross. For all y'all who in the chat, you're looking to condemn the brother and picking and abbing. I'm going to teach you a little something with OG. This is a triple cross, this man.
Wow. I have an itinerary. They trying to make it seem like I ain't been to Houston in months or years. Every time I go to Houston, I'm booked for something. I had an itinerary. I flew in that night. I filmed all night, and I filmed all morning long with a media company that booked me to be on an up-and-coming podcast called The Chill Show. That's why The Chill Show got all the information about me talking about Jay Prince in Houston. We got up that morning. We filmed till about 11, 12 o'clock. I think about 11. We were getting ready to head to the airport when I called Dr. Candace Matthews. Sister, I'm in town. And after I get the invite, so I'm going to produce my flight itinerary. I'm going to produce my agency's itinerary. So I rescheduled my flight for the following day so that I can attend Dr. Candace Matthews' supposedly birthday party. I was leaving Houston at 1 o'clock that day. The party was at 5 o'clock, 5 to 9. I got there at 4:30. I got out the car at 5:10. I slept in the car from 4:30 to 5 o'clock. So I got all the documentation and all the information to prove everything I'm saying, as well as the phone records. The time I talked to Dr. Candace Matthews when she made the invite. And from the time I talked to her when she made the invite to after I was shot at, she never called back until the next day with no concern about my safety. The only concern was, brother, they trying to say I brought you here, brother. Her husband called me. Her husband called me on the 8th call. She put her husband on the phone and said, brother, they threatening my husband now, brother. I said, what? They wrong in the brother. They threatening my husband. Her husband got on the phone. They wanted the media company to produce a video of her apologizing. The media company wouldn't do it. They said, no, we was on the phone. We was in the car. when you had on speakerphone. This is the media company. We was in the car and you had on speakerphone when she personally invited you. That's a snake. You notice she ain't said my name and called me a liar like she do everybody else.
And make sure y'all let me know, man. Is that Popeye's chicken situation? Is that real or is they setting the play? Is Charleston White lying? I really want to know y'all thoughts and opinions, man. Did Dr. Candace Matthews set up Charleston White with Jay Prince and them?
So you
get in the comments and let me know, man. If y'all want to catch another video.
I already covered it. I don't gotta get into that again. We already covered that. Hold on a sec, buddy. I'm in the midst of like texting asking for help for Jesse on the phone. And 1 second. Messaging my brother. Okay, so that's one thing we're getting out the pain. Okay, that's one of the salacious ones I was talking about. Now we're gonna roll into Colorado real quick. We're gonna roll out of Colorado for some of this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. We're gonna no, we'll do this one first. Okay, we're not going into Colorado just yet. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna go with this. Okay, and this is kind of go into 1 second. Let me get my thoughts correct. I like doing 5 things at one time.
The band of tension at the base of
so
the
me
skull. Aching strip that runs from behind one ear to the other.
Okay, we're gonna use some fun Brady facts. This is in regards to this video clip or this video that we're about to go over together. Hopefully you can see it. Thank you for staying. I have to leave the copyright up there for right now. This video, excuse me, that I'm talking about right here. It goes with it kind of should go with the Nolan Wells autopsy. You know, the one where they're talking about the portion inside of his neck missing. The how damaging, you know, just doing things that people's necks can really be. You know, high pressure, like there's a lot of things. Like, and me and my brother, we used to have just little discussions about stuff because a lot of motherfuckers, like, you know, for example, I said my first go-to is I always try to choke out a motherfucker. But and immediately go with it. Like if I can try to slap you like a bitch or choke you out like a bitch, this is what's gonna happen, right? But I have my own little methods of doing it. Just because I had to learn how to do certain things differently than others because of my hand structures. So that's different. That's a whole other conversation. But with your neck is probably the one thing that you have to be kind of careful with. Just like your head, you know what I mean? But you have to be really careful with it. And it controls, you know, not just your neck, but your neck has all the fucking all your internal wiring from your brain to your feet. It has to pass through the neck, you know? Just think about all the wires and cords that it takes to move your body. That's how I think about it, like in the sense of robotics, right? If you look at it, you have all kinds of cords and wires that hook up to your head that, you know, basically channel information back and forth to everything inside your body. And it all goes past the neck. You see what I'm saying? It all goes past the neck. Even if the neck isn't big or enough, there's some people that have, you know, certain type of conditions they're born with, that they you know, there's not a lot of it there. There is still something there, right? So your neck just doesn't just sit on your shoulders. It might just be a little something, but it's there. You know what I mean? Either way, it's still a delicate process. So so I decided I came across this. I was like, you know, this motherfucker, a lot of speculation, but not a lot of people know. You know, like how damaging it is when you shake a motherfucker or you do something. You know, and their neck goes back and forth. That's why, like in accidents, when they say, "Did you get whiplash or you ever sleep out?" Or yeah, your neck whipped back and forth. from the seat to the steering wheel or whatever, you know what I mean? And some things can just happen. Like, once you break your neck, they come run back. You dead. You gone. See what I'm saying? So it's a lot of there's a lot of things going on with that. So they kind of just thought this would be a little educational. Well, everybody wants to be a fucking detective. Yeah. I said that yesterday about the Gold Wells case. The speculation about the Gold Wells case. Everybody wants to work for the law department. Yeah, and it just seems like, but I thought it'd be good for us to go over just a little something about the neck and how vital and important it is. You know what I mean? And then we could add that to our list of speculations. Hold on, let me see that. Okay, there you go. Here's the mouse. There you go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me charge this bitch up again. Hold on. All right.
The one that tightens after an hour of reading, after a day at a screen, after years of looking down at a world built below eye level. The tension that massage loosens for a day before it returns. The tension that stretching cannot reach because the muscles generating it lie too deep beneath the upper trapezius for any surface technique to access. Those muscles sit directly above a passage that connects your brainstem to every major organ in your torso, and every hour of that tension compresses it. What that compression does to your heart rate, your digestion, and your immune system is where the physics leads next. That tension is a group of 4 small muscles, each one shorter than your index finger, sustaining a load they were never designed to hold continuously. The head weighs approximately 5 kilograms when balanced directly above the spine in neutral position. 5 kilograms is not a significant load. A bag of flour, a small watermelon. The cervical spine manages it effortlessly when the weight sits directly above the support structure, the way a column supports a sphere placed at its center. Head has drifted forward, the typical screen posture, whether the screen is a computer monitor, a tablet, a phone, or a book, positions the head approximately 5 to 7 centimeters ahead of the spine. The weight has not changed, still the head's resting mass. But the physics has changed entirely because the weight is no longer balanced above the support. It is cantilevered ahead of it, the way a wrecking ball extends from its crane arm. The torque equation governs what happens next, force multiplied by distance. The force is the head's mass pulling downward through gravity. The distance is the horizontal gap between the head's center of mass and the spine's support point. Cervical spine loading from forward head posture was calculated by Hans Raj in Surgical Technology International. At 15 degrees of forward flexion, the effective load on the cervical structures reaches approximately 12 kilograms. At 30 degrees, a moderate reading angle, 18 kilograms. At 30 degrees, a moderate reading angle. At 45 degrees, the angle of looking down at a phone held at waist level, 22 kilograms. At 60 degrees, 27 kilograms. The neutral load generating 27 kilograms of effective load through nothing more than a lever arm and gravity. Physics is identical to holding a weight at different distances from your body. Hold a dumbbell equal to the head's resting mass against your chest, and it feels like the head's resting mass. Hold it at arm's length in front of you, and the same weight feels like it has tripled. Your shoulder muscles must generate far more force to support the weight against the longer lever arm. The cervical spine is the shoulder in this analogy. The head is the dumbbell. Forward head posture is the arm extending further and further from the body. The muscles at the back of the neck are the shoulder muscles straining to hold a weight that has not gotten heavier, but has gotten further from the support point. The load your neck carries during screen posture is the load your arms would carry holding a bowling ball in front of you at chest height. Your arms would fatigue within minutes. Your suboccipital muscles carry this load for hours because the posture persists and the muscles have no option to set the weight down. Muscles absorbing this load are the suboccipital group, 4 paired muscles connecting the skull base to the first 2 vertebrae of the cervical spine. Rectus capitis posterior, major and minor. Obliquus capitis superior and inferior. These are small, deep muscles designed for a specific purpose, fine rotational adjustments of the head. the micro movements that keep your eyes level as your body shifts, the subtle tilts that orient your gaze during conversation. They are precision instruments. Under forward head posture, they become structural beams locked in continuous isometric contraction to prevent the head from dropping further forward under the multiplied gravitational load. Isometric contraction, muscles generating force without changing length, holding position against a load rather than moving through a range, produces a specific physiological consequence when sustained beyond approximately 30 seconds. The contracted muscle fibers compress the capillaries running through the muscle tissue. Blood flow through the muscle drops. Oxygen delivery decreases. Metabolic waste. Lactate, hydrogen ions, potassium, acute eye line, and every glance downward adds to the cervical flexion angle, and every degree adds kilograms to the effective load the suboccipital muscles must sustain. 8 hours of screen work, the monitor positioned below the natural eye line because the desk was designed for writing with a pen, not viewing a screen at eye level. 2 hours of phone use, the device held at chest or lap height, the neck flexing 30 to 45 degrees to bring the eyes to the screen. 1 hour of reading, the book or tablet resting on the lap or table. Food preparation, the cutting board and stovetop positioned at waist height, the neck flexing to watch the hands work. 30 minutes of eating, the plate on the table, the head dropping forward.
Hey y'all. I don't know. She's having technical difficulties. She let me in the studio though. We're down at your Lady Che. What is happening? I don't know what's happening. Like they kicked her off the studio or something. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Oh, she got to restart the computer. Okay. All right, hold on. She gonna restart the computer. I'm just holding it down till she get back. Who's still in here? DSB, are you still in here? Okay, everybody left. I hear you, Lady Chain, in the background. Amaru, get down.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, look, I think I need to restart it because it did kick me out, but it like totally shut my whole thing down. Then I come back and it's like acting all stupid right now. Like I think I should just use kind of like buffering, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to restart it because I lose all my work.
Is this the internet or what?
The whole thing. I gotta restart the whole thing. Well, I feel. Forgive me.
Save,
Yelling.
Save the queue and then restart your computer.
I can't get to the shit because it keeps moving. The motherfucking mouse again. Hold on a second. Hold on. The queue is already. Let me just get it there. Let me get saved queue. Let's get the queue.
I might be able to.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me save the queue. All right, hold on. Let's go with that. So let's go. Okay. Okay, on there. I already saved it. I saved it.
Okay. Now restart the computer. I'll hold it down till you get back.
All right, now.
All right, y'all. The hell with Clownston White.
I saved this. All right, so the work that I'm working on, the other queue is under. It's called your net controls.
Okay, I'm trying to find it.
Cause can you hear Jesse?
Yes. Yes,
okay,
I'm here.
It's under SD1. All right. The queue is called SD1, and the video is.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. Okay, SD1. Trying to find where I'm at. I got some windows open. Okay, let me find it. I don't see it, like you say. SD1. Yeah, I don't see it. I just see watch later, link videos, and 363. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get this together for her. But while y'all here, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. We're still in here. Yeah, let's see. Let's see, extremely long playlist. Not what she was playing. Let's see. Got so many damn windows open. I'm trying to find where I'm at. The stream art. She'll be right back. She just have to restart the computer. Where you at? Windows open. What's the all these windows? Okay, I think I found it. Okay, here we go. Who's still in here? Anybody still here? Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Subscribe to her backup channel as well. Put that link in the chat for y'all. Okay, who's in here? I think y'all all left. So it's 2 people watching. DSB, are you still here? Breeze, Michael? Who was that other person? Lorraine? Who's still in here? Let me see this over here. I was trying to pull up her playlist, but I don't see it. So, Some old videos. Okay, let's see. Yeah, her playlist is insane. She was fun. History. So what's her best and bad joke? Dad jokes. To go on the other page. She needs 3 more subscribers on the Seduction Doll page. So the 3 people watching, if y'all could subscribe to that, that'd be great. Okay, I got one video. Try to finish this. Do this like this. Okay, I found the video she was playing. Try to share that for y'all. Let me I can't add it to the screen. Try to go into StreamYard and add it. I'm clearly not the black villain, but see how this is going to work. Okay.
Contractile state. The immune system reports its activation level through vagal afferents from the spleen and liver. The brainstem receives this continuous data stream, the body's internal status report, through the vagus nerve trunk that passes through the jugular foramen. Compression at the foramen does not merely reduce the commands going down to the organs, it reduces the information coming up from the organs to the brain. The brain loses its interoceptive data stream, the continuous sensory input that allows the central nervous system to monitor and regulate the body's internal state. The brainstem that should be receiving detailed reports from every major organ instead receives a degraded signal, attenuated, delayed, incomplete. The regulatory decisions the brainstem makes based on this signal, heart rate adjustment, digestive secretion timing, immune surveillance calibration, inflammatory response modulation, are made with insufficient data. Suboccipital muscle compression affects the cervical neurovascular structures passing through the region, as Bove and Chappell identified in manual therapy, including the vertebral artery, the suboccipital nerve, and the structures at the jugular foramen. The anatomy places the nerve inside the passage. The physics places 12 to 27 kilograms of sustained compression on that passage, depending on the degree of forward displacement. The degree to which that compression reduces the vagal signal has not been directly measured in a controlled trial. The evidence calibration requires stating this explicitly. But the anatomy and the load leave little mechanical ambiguity about the direction of the effect. A nerve passing through a passage surrounded by muscles under sustained maximal contraction is a nerve experiencing compressive force. Nerve conduction studies in peripheral nerves demonstrate measurable signal velocity reduction under far less compressive load than the suboccipital muscles generate during forward head posture. The question is not whether compression occurs, it is how much signal degradation the compression produces, and the clinical correlates suggest the degradation is significant. Well, the clinical consequences map precisely to the organs the vagus nerve regulates, because each organ loses the regulatory signal it depends on. Reduced vagal tone, measured clinically as reduced heart rate variability, the variation in time between successive heartbeats, produces a specific constellation of effects. Heart rate variability as a measure of vagal function was quantified by Thayer and colleagues in Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews, establishing that higher HRV reflects stronger vagal braking on the sympathetic nervous system, while lower HRV reflects sympathetic dominance from reduced vagal input. Autonomic nervous system operates through continuous opposition. The sympathetic branch accelerates, raising heart rate, diverting blood from digestion to skeletal muscles, suppressing immune surveillance, elevating cortisol, preparing the body for physical threat. The parasympathetic branch, carried predominantly by the vagus, decelerates, slowing heart rate, activating digestive motility, enabling immune function, reducing cortisol, facilitating the physiological state required for sleep onset and tissue repair. Sleep onset depends on a specific autonomic transition. The parasympathetic shift that slows the heart, deepens the breath, reduces cortisol, and signals every organ that the active phase is ending and the restorative phase is beginning. The vagus nerve initiates this transition. The shift from sympathetic to parasympathetic dominance at bedtime is not a switch that flips. It is a gradual handover, the vagal brake increasing its force over 30 to 60 minutes, while sympathetic output decreases in parallel. Disrupted vagal tone delays this handover. The person lies in bed, often with a pillow stack that maintains a mild cervical flexion because the shortened fascia has tightened the anterior neck tissue to the point where lying flat feels uncomfortable without head elevation. The pillow compensates for the shortened fascia. The compensation maintains a modified forward head position during the 8 hours that should be the cervical spine's recovery period. The muscles that should be releasing during sleep maintain a reduced but persistent contraction against the pillow's angle. The nerve that should be decompressing during recumbency remains partially compressed. The heart rate that should be descending through the 50s hovers in the 70s. The cortisol that should be at its daily nadir remains elevated. The body is in bed. The room is dark. The temperature is cool. Every external condition for sleep is met, but the autonomic state is still the state of midday alertness, because the vagal brake that should be slowing the entire system into its restorative mode is weakened at the skull base by the same postural load that built during the 16 hours of forward head activity that preceded the attempt to sleep. The two branches do not alternate. They operate simultaneously, with the balance between them determining the body's functional state at any given moment. The vagus is the brake, the sympathetic system is the accelerator, and both are always engaged. The balance point determines whether the body rests or fights. Vagal compression shifts the balance point towards sympathetic dominance, not by increasing sympathetic activity, but by reducing the braking force that restrains it. The sympathetic system does not need to change. The vagal braking, the same sympathetic output that was held in check by strong vagal tone, now runs without adequate opposition. Resting heart rate rises from 62 to 70.
Are you back, Lady Che?
Yeah, I'm back. I had to plug in the mouse and I had to do a whole bunch of shit, and it just was not letting me. The StreamYard was acting stupid. StreamYard been acting stupid, like kicks me out, then it wouldn't let me back in, then it wouldn't show like the show is active, right? So it wouldn't even show that. It was like just for the last 10 minutes, just fussing with it. Like God, like anyway, I'm back now, so
Okay, let me share on my screen. Do you have your playlist? Because I couldn't find it. I found the video you were playing though.
Yes, I got it. You go ahead
Okay.
and drop down if you want to. You don't have to step if you don't want to, but I got it. I could do it. For where'd you stop in the video?
I'm about half. I think I got about halfway through. Yeah, halfway. 16:31.
16:31. All right. Let me get to it.
He said, woo. Okay. I gotta go run them errands for you.
All right, so you just drop down right there. I'm gonna start. You said 16 in?
Yeah, 16:31.
16:30. Yeah. All right. Okay, just jump down. I'll see you in a little bit, whatever.
Okay.
I'll talk to you because I need you to show me how to do the split screen so I can work on the other stuff. I'm working on the thing, but I gotta keep eyes on this shit because it's not. It just kicked me out to do all that. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I'll share the screen, right?
Yeah. If you're using Chrome, just right click on the tab and it'll do the split screen.
Right click on what tab?
On any tab.
Because I have an open window.
It's just say add
like a separate screen, like a whole separate window.
Oh, it's not gonna work like that. You have to be on the same window.
Oh yeah, I can't move my work from the. I have it on a whole separate thing so that I can do the work. All right. Go ahead. Just go ahead and drop down. Thank you, sir. Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, love you too. See you later.
Everybody tell them bye. Love you too. Bye. Thank you. All right. So yeah, let's give a round of applause for Jesse for being a stand-up dude and coming to help me. Because a bitch was struggling. I was struggling so hard. All right, now I think I kind of got it under control. It's just that apparently I'm working on 3 things at the same time. So I'm like having a whole conversation outside of this on my phone, and then doing this, looking at this, learning with you, and then doing the website work. But I can't do it all. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to mess up my website work. That's vital. Okay, so I'm trying to update it so it can get out of construction. You know, the website is currently under construction. All right, let's get back to where we were.
Sympathetic output that was held in check by strong vagal tone now runs without adequate opposition. Resting heart rate rises from 62 to 74 beats per minute over a period of years, a shift you attribute to aging or cardiovascular deconditioning rather than to a compressed nerve. The change is visible on any fitness tracker or smartwatch that records resting heart rate over time. The graph shows a gradual upward trend. A beat per minute here, 2 beats there, the line climbing so slowly it never triggers alarm, but never returning to the baseline you remember from 5 years ago. The cardiologist finds no structural abnormality. The ECG is normal, the heart is healthy. The nerve that should be slowing it is compressed at a site no cardiac workup examines. Because the compression is in the neck, not the chest, and the symptom presents at the organ, the nerve regulates rather than at the site where the nerve is impaired. Digestive motility slows, and the slowdown is measurable in the time between eating and the sensation of the meal having moved through. The vagus nerve controls the migrating motor complex, the coordinated wave of muscular contractions that moves food through the stomach and small intestine in approximately 4 to 5 hours in a healthy system. Reduced vagal tone slows this complex. The stomach retains food longer. The small intestine processes more sluggishly. You experience the consequences bloating that persists hours after a meal, as a sensation of fullness disproportionate to the portion consumed, as discomfort you attribute to food sensitivity or dietary indiscretion. The gastroenterologist finds no pathology. The endoscopy is normal. The tissue is healthy. The nerve that coordinates the tissue's movement is compressed at a site no gastrointestinal workup examines. Immune surveillance decreases. The cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway mediated by vagal efferents to the spleen becomes less active, and the low-grade systemic inflammation you accept as a consequence of aging may be partly a consequence of a weakened vagal brake on the immune system's inflammatory response. Pressing 2 tennis balls against the base of my skull that afternoon, positioned at the suboccipital ridge with a gap between the balls straddling the spine, and held the position for 90 seconds, the release was not what I expected. The ache did not merely decrease. The muscles that had been locked in sustained contraction for what I now understood was years began releasing in a sequence I could feel, a spreading warmth as blood rushed back into tissue that had been ischemic for what I now calculated was approximately 14 hours, the entire previous day of screen work, reading, cooking, and driving, followed by a night on a pillow that maintained the flexion. 14 hours of sustained compression released in under 2 minutes. The warmth was reactive hyperemia, the blood surge mechanism familiar from peripheral vessels, now occurring in the deepest cervical muscles, a softening of the rigid band. The sensation was similar to removing a tight collar you had forgotten you were wearing. The restriction had become so habitual that its presence was invisible until its absence revealed it. And underneath the muscular release, something I had not anticipated, a change in breathing. The breath deepened without conscious effort, the exhale lengthened. The heart rate, I was wearing a monitor, dropped 4 beats per minute within 3 minutes of the release. The vagal brake that had been mechanically weakened by the compression was strengthening as the compression lifted. The heart rate variability, which I had been tracking on a chest strap monitor, showed the shift numerically. The RMSSD value, a standard measure of vagal tone, increased from 31 milliseconds before the release to 44 milliseconds 15 minutes after, a 42% increase in vagal tone from the sustained pressure on the suboccipital muscles. The nerve was compressed, mechanically, by muscles responding to a load the torque equation imposed, and the compression was reversible. The signal pathway was intact, the bottleneck was structural. Remove the structure's sustained contraction and the signal returns to its full capacity. Body adapts to sustained posture through a process the tissue itself drives. The cervical fascia, the connective tissue wrapping every muscle, nerve, vessel, and bone in the neck, responds to sustained mechanical loading by laying down additional collagen fibers along the lines of habitual stress. The process is the same physics that produces calluses on a laborer's hands or thickens soles on a barefoot runner's feet. Tissue remodeling in response to chronic mechanical demand. Over decades of forward head posture, the anterior cervical fascia, the connective tissue on the front of the neck, shortens. The posterior fascia thickens and stiffens. The sternocleidomastoid muscles develop fibrotic adhesions. The scapular muscles tighten into their shortened position. Tissue locked formation like a straitjacket, and the straitjacket tightens with age. Collagen cross-linking accelerates after 50. Sugar molecules in the permanent collagen fibers, a process called glycation, and the bonds accumulate with age, stiffening the tissue further with each passing year. The fascia that remodeled around the forward position at 40 was still somewhat pliable. Collagen fibers, though oriented along the habitual loading direction, retained elasticity to allow temporary correction. The fascia at 65 has undergone additional cross-linking that reduces its pliability further. The straitjacket that can be stretched at 40 is stiffened into a rigid frame at 65. The correction that was possible 2 decades ago may be structurally impossible without mechanical tissue release. The fascia will not lengthen through stretching alone because the cross-linked collagen fibers resist elongation beyond a threshold that conscious muscle contraction cannot exceed. Conscious postural correction, the decision to stand up straight, to pull the shoulders back, to retract the chin, requires fighting the tissue's resting length. You pull your head back and the shortened anterior fascia resists while the stiffened posterior fascia pulls forward. corrected posture holds for minutes, sometimes seconds, before the elastic recoil of remodeled tissue pulls the head forward again. Your tissue is adapted to the wrong position across 20 or 30 years of daily reinforcement. Now, why the tissue adapted and why it tightens further at 50 involves a molecular change most people have never heard of. And then the deep compound the problem because muscles that should prevent forward drift, atrophying, or causing the compression are strengthening. The longus colli and longus capitis, deep muscles running along the front of the cervical spine, are designed to hold the head in neutral position through low-level tonic contraction. They are the postural muscles. Under forward head posture, the suboccipital muscles take over their role at massively higher force levels. The deep flexors no longer needed for the task they were designed for, atrophy from disuse. The muscle group that should be holding the head in neutral weakens, while the muscle group that should not.
Sorry, y'all. Kicking our studio. Let's move that. I don't know. They keep kicking her out the studio. StreamYard on that bullshit. Yeah, she might have to do a redo of this one because I don't know why they keep kicking. Yeah, she might have to do a redo of this one. And just hold it down till she get back. I got errands to run though, so I can't be here too long. Make sure y'all subscribe to her backup channel, Seduction Dawn. Make sure y'all subscribe to Frontline Black News. Make sure y'all subscribe to Shabaka's channel. All these links are in the Frontline Black News subscription. Khalifa, what are you doing, Khalifa? Khalifa. Well, no, that's pretty interesting to know about the veins and all of that in your neck. It's like biology class all over again. Let's see if we can put that video back up. Back in here. So it's just not this odd, eerie silence.
Normal, the heart is healthy. The nerve that should be slowing it is compressed at a site no cardiac workup examines, because the compression is in the neck, not the chest, and the symptom presents at the organ the nerve regulates rather than at the site where the nerve is impaired. Digestive motility slows, and the slowdown is measurable in the time between eating and the sensation of the meal having moved through. The vagus nerve controls the migrating motor complex, the coordinated wave of muscular contractions that moves food through the stomach and small intestine in approximately 4 to 5 hours in a healthy system. Reduced vagal tone slows this complex. The stomach retains food longer. The small intestine processes more sluggishly. You experience the consequences bloating that persists hours after a meal, as a sensation of fullness disproportionate to the portion consumed, as discomfort you attribute to food sensitivity or dietary indiscretion. The gastroenterologist finds no pathology. The endoscopy is normal. The tissue is healthy. The nerve that coordinates the tissue's movement is compressed at a site no gastrointestinal workup examines. Immune surveillance decreases. The cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway mediated by vagal efferents to the spleen becomes less active, and the low-grade systemic inflammation you accept as a consequence of aging may be partly a consequence of a weakened vagal brake on the immune system's inflammatory response. Pressing 2 tennis balls against the base of my skull that afternoon, positioned at the suboccipital ridge with a gap between the balls straddling the
can you
spine,
hear me?
and held the position for 90 seconds.
Yeah.
The release was not what I expected. The ache did not merely
Thanks for holding it down. Are you still in here? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. All right. I can't hear anything. You're all over the place. All right, we finished that. We finished that. Now we're gonna go to hold on.
I'm just saying, in case they kick you out again.
Yeah. Thank you for that, because streamer is acting like a hoe, so it has been kicking me out like left and fucking right. I have no idea why it's kicking me out, but it shuts my whole shit down. Like it just totally shuts my shit down. Okay. We're on a different topic here. It shuts everything off, and I have to restart it. But I'm not paying attention to it. Like, I gotta actually actively be looking at the fucking screen, because I cannot do my side work and try to get done. I cannot do my side work. So I'm just saying, I gotta actively be staring at the goddamn screen. Should be sharing now. So enough of that. Now let's get into this next. This is the third salacious video we're watching. And then we're going to take off into Colorado. So this we'll start with this. I want to put up saying that this is one of the people I'm going to press for just to interview with, because it's in the state of Colorado. But excuse me. However, they talk politics. Yes, all sorts of stuff. He has different candidates come up there. They talk a lot about what's going on in Colorado. It's called Free State Colorado. Free State Colorado. And it's kind of like independent, like they don't really necessarily ride any any wave, you know what I mean, whether it be right or left. Um, and that's kind of what I was looking for when I was doing my research. So like I got Jesse's stuff ready, and I like that's what I've been working on. Is uh releases. I can't remember what they're called right now. I'm highly distracted. Um, media release, your press release. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. This topic though, family. This topic right here is motherfucking salacious. The topic is this. Okay, the topic is Colorado woman spent 20 years trying to let me get some of this shit out there too. Trying to become a woman. Or become a man, right? And so then that we were doing some like at city council, I've been calling out some of this trans shit, you know what I mean? I call it agenda seeking propaganda. You know what I mean? Because it's an agenda. It is an agenda. So, when we talk about the LGBTQ plus agenda, leapfrogging over the black agenda, that's kind of like what we mean. And it's all forced on us. You know what I mean? Okay, so but this is gonna be pretty salacious, and I'm gonna be like, I would like to refer to anytime everybody calls me a homophobic or whatever, but you know what I mean? I would like to refer back to this as the answer of why. It is not. I'm not homophobic. It's just why I be saying half the shit I say. You know what I mean?
This question. So I think that since we're all now rooted back into reality, that there's no possible way that I could be a man. Genetically, physically, socially, everything is female, and so basically what led me down this path, and a lot of people don't want to talk about this, but there's I feel a trend or even a pattern that we could recognize here about why men transition and why women transition. And men, if it's not dealt from a young age of sexual abuse or coercion, from their parents or from society or being groomed into these positions, more often than not, it's sometimes for fetish. That's why you'll see older men, that will go into this transition period and why they're so ridiculous. That's autogenophilia. They're just trying to pretend to be women. And even if there's that slight, small group of people who actually have gender identity disorder, again, if this was a modality that they used to rectify that, it still should not be something that we should have to be complicit in. So we shouldn't have to, say a man is a woman and a woman is a man. Again, that's like if someone has schizophrenia, it would be completely lack of compassion to just fly into their delusions. There's
See, not flying into nobody's motherfucking delusions. Fucking a world of utter imagination. Cause so you see.
practices to keep people rooted in reality.
Rooted in reality.
For women, however, there's a huge pattern that people don't want to talk about, and it usually deals with trauma and abuse. So sexual abuse, physical abuse, violence from men. And what most people don't realize is that women take on this physical armor, basically. When I realized at 17, when I met my first trans person in a youth group, mind you, this is probably something that they shouldn't have been talking to me about, and that they should have brought my parents into it. But again, they didn't. But when I met this person and they told me that you could literally change your physical appearance, it'd be like going through puberty all over again. Like your voice to drop clearly, you could hear how that happened. There were going to be physical changes that'll make me look like a man. And especially if I was to get my breasts removed, it would just seal the deal. And so basically it's like I could hide in plain sight. I felt that even if I wasn't an attractive woman whatsoever, my learning or what I learned about being a woman very young was that women were not safe and they were not valuable. And so regardless of how I looked, I knew that growing up, even having sexual violence in our home, having that sort of fear of men, this gave me armor to hide in plain sight to feel safer.
I'm just gonna be 100. I'm gonna speak my own personal shit. Um, I've been terrorized by men since I can remember. Then according to the system, to violate the vandalism of my body is like fucking ridiculous. So, all sorts of different men, right? They then snatched me off the street, kidnapped me, or they violated me, or I like to use the word now, vandalized me. All sorts of things. And I grew up in an abusive household. So also too physically abusive household. Not one like that, but so I would say that as much violence as men have endured towards me on a regular basis ever since I can remember, I never wanted to cut off my breast, drop my voice down to a man and live like what? Okay, especially the motherfuckers is, why would I want to change into the motherfuckers that are abusing me? Like, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. I'm just because now sometimes I make funny little jokes. Yeah, like if I had a swill, it'd be like 9 fucking inches long, 3 fingers wide, and I'd slap everybody in the face with it. But I don't mean it. I like being a girl. Actually, I like being a lady, and stuff like that. I'm very feminine. Very feminine, okay? Like super stupid feminine. Like ridiculous. But ridiculously feminine, okay? I don't care. If everybody's trying to force me to wear pants and tennis shoes, and I can't even do it. I feel awkward just doing it. And I've been doing it for like the last couple of years because Jesse made me. But I'm a lady, goddamn it. I wear dresses. Dress shoes normally. That's my nature. I would never want to turn into the motherfuckers that have caused me so much harm. It's just as dangerous as white people. Like white people, men. There's a list. I got a list. I'm not turn into one, and let alone let them feed me fucking information. Like, so that's like, what is she talking about? Disappear and hide with it? Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like that. Like, I've been really, really suffering from like some serious shit, PTSD. Like, you might as well just say I've been in a war, like an urban war. You know what I mean? And like, same type of PTSD that the military suffers from it. Certain things will trigger it. It's just like that. But what she talking about, I don't know. I never wanted to turn into somebody who beat the life out their kid. You know what I mean? I never wanted to do all that. Or turn into a violator or a vandalizer or motherfucking kidnapper or anything like that. Never. Never, ever, ever. And never did I think I could just cut off my having in this body, having a lady, a grown woman body. You think I love to what? Even if I had the big C, there would be cutting off of nothing over here. It's bad enough that they cut into me and hack me up. It'll be another thing if I let them cut off the tatas. No. And or chop into my thigh to create a motherfucking swiller as big as my ego. No. There'll be enough cutting into my legs and stuff like that. I have enough fucking grafting to serve at least 7 different people. So I am good. I do not want to do that. But if she's like, this is what she heard at 17 years old. I didn't never meet like a transitioned person still yet that is actually really living their truth. I see a lot of fakers and fronters.
Wow, Antoinette, I appreciate you sharing that. And I never really thought about that or heard that before, but it makes so much sense, right? If a young woman is being abused, is in a vulnerable position, she wants to change that. She doesn't want to be vulnerable anymore. And one way to do that is to not be a girl, not be a woman anymore, because then maybe there's not that reason for that abuse or that trauma to be inflicted upon her. And I mean, do you think that's...
Anyway, doesn't matter whatever you're doing, like, you're gonna make yourself a target one way or the other. Like, you don't want to be a girl, you want to disappear, and you think you're a man. Okay, fine. Now you're gonna be a fucking targeted special type of man because now you allegedly you're cosplaying this man, and you're gonna let your sexuality live through your, like, be the first thing somebody sees, your sexuality and ideology behind it, and you're gonna make yourself a soft target for even more mayhem to happen. Even more mayhem. You could wind up, it's in the worst upper room scenario. You know what I mean? Because of it, you doubted went from just being an abused woman, now you went to a fucking being terrorized under and flying under a hate crime banner now. Like you see the movements. See how weird that is? You go from being an actual woman, then cosplaying a man, to being now targeted to end up, being a hate crime victim. Listen. How much sense does it make to give the world of pure, utter imagination a hate crime bill? Ponder that.
That's probably one of the primary reasons why young women might be seeking the gender transition path then.
I feel so. And because we're not putting any effort, it's mental list, we're just people immediately, which is something that's pretty insane anyway. With most diagnosis, you need to have a team with you. There needs to be this long line of basically therapy that you go through before you diagnose. But now you have an 8-year-old that tells you that they're transgender, and you'll start transing them. And you've had children in a single.
See, that's that is right there. The world is I have no extra daughter. I had a son. I had a daughter, not another son. Like, come on now, like, no, just because you so. I mean, if I didn't like, it's something that it's one thing that you get trans, gender and shit like that. And so
They keep kicking her off the studio, y'all. But that is some weird shit, what she was just playing. But when we say that, when we say exactly what De La Cruz said, they said that we're transphobic and homophobic. Well, ain't that a bitch? Like, no. We're not going to fall for your delusion, because we're not going to do it. If you were born a man, use a man. If you was born a woman, use a woman. The president said there's only 2 genders. What the hell? Like Shabaka always says, they got the civil rights, they got the human rights, but they ain't got the right to come to you in a 5 o'clock shadow talking about they a woman. No sense, no estrogen in any of them. Okay, welcome back, Lady Che. I don't know what I keep kicking.
It's fucking ridiculous.
We got storms in there.
It's just like.
We got storms
I
in
don't
the
think
air.
that has anything to do with it. Not over here.
They're heading our way. They're heading your and my way.
Nah, this is. I think this is more like technical, because I tried to undo the mouse and it was just acting stupid. So,
yeah, just
like I literally have to keep my eye on this page and the computer. Like, I apologize, family. I apologize, Black family. The other day I did a show. I didn't even have these kind of problems.
Yeah, just focus on one thing, Lady Che. You're doing too much multitasking. Just focus on one thing, get done with the show, and then you can go back to the other work you were doing.
I know. All right. Let's get through it. So, so everybody, you're paying attention, right? This broad is saying basically she made a mistake. She knows now. She's coming to reality that there's just 2 genders, and she shouldn't be forced shit out to everybody, right? And then she said she's talking about she an activist and a detransitioner, right? But basically, you see where my points are when I'm talking all this shit, and everybody thinks that I got homophobia problems and I got cosplay issues, or I do got problems with cosplayers, but that I thought that was just a normal thing. Your thoughts, Jesse, real quick on that. What do you think? What do you think about what I'm saying?
I literally
Like
said before you got kicked off. I said that if we said the same thing this chick said, they call us transphobic and homophobic. But we're not going to entertain their delusion. If you was born a man,
that's what we're doing. We have not been. We are assholes. They say we're assholes. Whole black assholes.
I didn't say it. The president said it. There's only two genders.
And that's what the president said. I said that too because I said they treat us like we just some big old black assholes right here because we've been saying that shit. And it's really, really going heavy in the paint with it too. And mostly at city council, directed at the city council, not the city council, but these alleged actors.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're playing a role. Cosplaying is playing a role. Right? When you cosplay as somebody else, you are intentionally playing. You're like researching a role. You're not about this. Ain't no Robert Downey Jr. flick. Like, come on now, cuz like this is like me saying, like we saying that. Okay, look, and I don't really agree with have almost 90% of what the fucking president says, but when he said certain things, like there's only two genders, that's to get everybody back into the right frame of mind. Right. There are only two genders. You can't. Unless you've been like if I had to draw the parameters, you've had to be living as a woman or a man, full blown, 100%, to where nobody can fucking tell you're either or, right? For like 10 years plus. That means you've done your paperwork. That means you switched your name over.
Right. And even then, you were still born.
You are no longer John Doe. You're now Jane. Paperwork with your previous. Have you went under any other aliases? You know that's on the form, right? Have you went what gender were you assigned at birth? And you know it's on these forms. Now they put these on these forms, like when you apply for shit or you do certain things. So when this is an incentivized group of people that now got a motherfucking hate crime bill. It's like way more than what the average foundational Black American can ever have, right? We sit here and make these policies and shit, try to get this for a simple hate crime bill because we're Black and in America, right? Simple fucking thing. Simple. We're not. It's not like it's an ambiguous thing. It's simple. Black people are being murdered in America.
Right.
You know what I mean? Pick your fucking danger zone. Is it white people? Is it the police? It's a whole bunch of shit, right? But when it comes to this is like a whole separate issue. Cosplay. This is a woman who now comes to the understanding 20 years later that she cannot be a man. Are you serious? You should have known that from jump. Just say like you're a tomboy and you're gay. That would make sense. Tomboy, gay.
I gotta go run the errand.
That would be okay. Like I would go for it. Just leave it. Just leave yourself in the studio, okay? That way, in case something happens, you can always jump back in. So that was the saying. When they say like when they're talking to us and they're saying all this shit. Like they wanted to ban me from city council, right? Because I called the one transformer actually what his name is. I've been making some serious comments towards his ass, her ass, whatever, right? Look. If I'm a regular person and I see that person on the street, I would be confused, right? On where to place them in the world, right? And that's why when they go to jail, they have special places where they can be treated so they're not targeted, so they're not abused, so they're not vandalized while they're in custody and things like that. Same thing with shelters. Like no, you don't get a special shelter because you're gay or lesbian or bisexual, and or you know what I mean? Those are the top three, right? Gay, lesbian, or bisexual, right? But then when you start cosplaying, and that means you're wearing a dress with a beard, or a skirt with a beard and some braids, or some motherfucking Saucy Santana shit or whatever, yeah, you motherfuckers are like, you're a special breed of your own. And it's not even a real thing. It's a fucking world of pure utter imagination. And they force it on us like we're feel some kind of way. You're not addressing me by my pronouns. But what the fuck is that? Like, look, man, I'm taking it case by case now. Why? Because you're not gonna feed into your delusions. Like you wouldn't feed into my delusions of grandeur, right? I don't have none, but if I did, like you wouldn't feed into it. It's just common sense. You'd be like, nah, no, no, no. You know what I mean? That's simple, right?
Are being trans. So I believe that at least it's speaking for women.
When they put fucking girl neutral bathrooms in the schools, where that means like okay, certain places like you got like for example, you go to a mall or I'll give you a prime example. Okay, the church. There's a church right here where we live in Five Points, right? Baptist Church, Central Baptist Church, right? They have a family bathroom, okay, where you, your wife, and your baby, you can go in there to change your baby's diaper or take your baby to use the restroom, and you guys could both all use the restroom while you're a little family. Just go in one bathroom real quick, handle up, and then you and the little family go sit back down in the pews and do whatever, right? But it's not a bathroom for. It's just like it's mostly for changing your child or cleaning up your kid, and maybe it's you and your wife need to wash your hands or something safe, or it's really bad for that, right? Because black people like to look out for each other when it comes to being with each other, right? It's like you don't want to just go to your wife while she in the restroom, have somebody walk up in there and fucking do something terrible, and it's a whole scene, right? Or you in there trying to change your diaper, change your baby's diaper, or pull up or whatever, clean your baby up, and somebody walk in and you're not there to protect your little family. So black people, we love protecting our little families, even though we like quite a kind of tedious, but we're thankful when we have those type of family bathrooms. It'll say family, right? Like me and Jesse was up at the Stanley Center when we need some healthcare. The bathroom says, it has signs that say man, woman, handicap, blah, blah, blah. Um, obviously, I fell under the woman in the handicap sign, but I was like, hey, can my husband here help me? They were like, yeah. So I asked permission because I didn't want to assume, and then we get kicked out of White Ass Stanley Center, right? And so I was like, okay, cool. Well, that's what happened. So we know, those bathrooms exist. But when they start putting them in high schools, where a fucking boy who's still a boy, meaning he's still got all these shit, he can still shoot up the club, right? Can go into the women's bathroom, or a man can go into a women's bathroom, and they still got their shit, like they still are intact. That's a real problem. That is a real issue because women, just like men, like to have safe places to be. Like Like this is like 5 motherfucking times
Men,
already.
like I said, I feel
Yeah,
it's
let me carry
those
on.
two routes, but with women, I think if people want to have an honest conversation, that they would realize that most women that are doing this have experienced abuse or sexual violence, and they're trying to hide in plain sight because men are less likely to hurt it themselves or their brethren, so to speak, than they are another woman. You know, like women are just fair game for whatever. But if you look like a man, you're less likely to be harmed by one. But it doesn't mean it can't happen, but it's
Wow.
less likely.
Yeah, definitely. And you brought up a great point here about just how this gender industry has become so accessible and not in a good way necessarily, right? You would think that somebody who maybe is going through this kind of medical procedures, be all these safeguards in place, you know, with different experts and really making sure this is the right thing to do for somebody with all these specialists and kind of a long drawn out process to make sure that everything's done properly for the care of the patient. But instead, that's not the case these days. As you said, it's instant. It's instant where, you know, young children who don't know any better, or young people who are maybe trying to escape this abuse can get on some sort of hormones or drugs or puberty blockers, or get the different materials to start this process immediately without any real consideration from professionals or experts. I mean, is that accurate? Am I describing that accurate?
No, you're describing that perfectly. And the reason why I speak so often is because of the fact of when I did it, I was 21. And when I did it, it was still quite a process, even though it was still pretty much no gatekeeper, uh, rush through the process. And I'll even get into like even my own personal, but I was able to see from that point in time up till now and to see how it's changed over that span of time. And it is scary. It is truly scary how easy it is to just have people walk up in line and just self-sterilize and self-mutilate their bodies and wanting it, which is insane, where they want this. I would say when I did it, even then it was very the ethics were lacking. First, I made sure to go see, because as a young person, like I thought this was something that was going to save my life. So I was willing to do anything, anything to have it, because I didn't realize what I needed was mental health and I needed mental wellness. I needed to reach with myself because another part of that pattern that I see is that people have disconnected from themselves, and that's usually because of trauma, and trauma causes a thing called splitting, you know, and so there's a lot of layers to trauma that if one was to go into, they could be able to heal this before they cause damage to their bodies permanently. But even when I went in there, I made sure to research that the person I was seeking this endocrinologist, Dr. Rachel St. Clair, who's a big, I don't know if they're still at Kaiser, but they're a huge like transgender champion, as they call them. And I knew that this person used to be a man, and I knew that about them. I knew I'd get more sympathy from this person of getting my letters. At the time, you're supposed to be living as a man for at least 6 months to a year. The endocrinologist I went to go see, I was supposed to see 3 times. I ended up only seeing them once. It was an hour conversation. Basically, I told them like you would never understand what it was like to be transgender, just stupid things, even though I could clearly see hands were huge, features were, you know, masculine clearly. Um, but basically then Dr. Rachel St. Clair was just like, well, no, I would understand. And that basically I'm going to write your letter today. And I was like, oh, fantastic. So they wrote the letter that day. So it didn't take 3 sessions. There was no vetting if I did any kind of therapy for the past year, particularly on this situation. All she asked, or all they asked, was if I was. I have to be very careful how I word stuff because in Colorado, you know. Um, so uh, all they asked was if I was living as a man, and I said yes. Um, to only show you how much further the process was really messed up was that it took me almost 2 years to cash in on that letter. I got the letter. I got permission to get hormone therapy. I didn't touch it. The only reason why I found it is because I was cleaning out my closet and I was cleaning out paperwork, and I found the letter. And my life was still not better, clearly because it's mental wellness. And I was like, well, this has to be it. This is what's going to fix things. I must have found it for a reason. So I grabbed the letter. I went to go find a doctor that was in Colorado Springs to give me testosterone because there's still relatively new things. So you had to go find people. It's not like now where it's like it's easier to find a transgender clinic just as much as a liquor store. But then it was much harder. So found the guy. The guy said basically the letter was too old. He's like, I can't use that. It has to be within a year. And I was like, no problem. I'll reach out to Dr. Rachel St. Clair again. Reached out to that doctor and told the doctor basically like things were expensive, blah 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 or whatever. There was never a question about why. Why did you wait 2 years? Why did you wait even longer than a year? Like obviously this may not be something for you. Nothing like that. No questions, no nothing. Okay, no problem. Let me change the date and then I'll email it to your doctor. So that was it. Just change the date, emailed it to the doctor, got on testosterone. So there were all these holes in the first place, but it was still accessible. But nowadays it's terrifying because a person could just say, this is how I am, go to that clinic, and then you get your first shot almost that day, which is insane.
And describing growing up in this day and age compared to what it's been in the past, I think it's always been a challenge growing up, right? I mean, young people, they're struggling. People are looking for answers. People are looking for solutions. People are looking for ways to make their life easier and kind of look for that path for them going forward. And I feel like so many of the young people these days maybe being taken advantage of by this gender industry and being sold these lies that, hey, you just change your gender and these problems are going to go away. But where are they getting these ideas from? I mean, you talked about at a youth group, a transgender person talked to you. I know there's the role of social media, but where do you think so much of this is coming from? Because it's like, I don't know, when I was growing up, this was never a thing, but of course we didn't have the internet back in the early 90s, you know what I mean? So there was no discussions about anything like this. But nowadays, it seems like kids are just kind of growing up in this space where this is part of the conversation and given to them as an option. I mean, very early in life. I mean, what do you think this is kind of from the way?
So I think that you that nail on the head right there. So when we were growing up, there wasn't that huge access to the internet. Like the people I had to research was one Buck Angel, and she's totally fine with saying she because she knows she's biologically female. And I've spoken with Buck before. I've been on her podcast, and so that was one, and that was before
Hey,
Buck was an
back.
advocate.
Pause the video real quick.
Okay.
That
I'm
knew
trying.
she was sick, knew she had something going on, and this is
Hold on.
the modalities she took so she could live.
What?
I got Manti right here. Say hi, cuz.
What up, cuz? Come on.
Babe, can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, just call me on the phone, cuz. Like, I'm live. Let me do the thing on live. Like, let me just call me on the phone.
Okay.
Healthier life. She acknowledged
Okay,
completely that she's
let me finish my
biologically
video.
female.
Call me on the
There was another individual that was born female, was like in their 60s or 70s, living out in the mountains. Like there wasn't very many people at all. And so for me, it was the beginning of the community. It was some of the people that at that point in time in the 2017-ish, around that time, that were first embarking on this journey. And so those were some of the people that I had to refer to during this whole thing. It's not like now where you have TikTokers and you have Instagrammers and you have all these people, and especially like I said during COVID, we see influx of people who just all of a sudden were trans, they, them, in my day, like there were definitely gender non-conforming people. That's where you had, very effeminate men and you have very butch women, and that's okay. There's many ways to be a boy, many ways to be a girl. But nowadays, I feel with the technology, and not only that, but just the lack of mental wellness in our country in general, because we're also dealing with some parents who think this is cool or it's a trend, or their kid at 2 years old is showing signs that they're transgender. Like it's just nonsense. So if the child isn't experiencing some trauma and having to rectify the connection with themselves, then the parents are sick. And their parents are pushing this. Their parents are dealing with mental illness. And now the child is a part of that.
Wow. I mean, it's so horrible to think about. And I mean, and don't get me wrong, parents who have problems, inflicting them on their children has been a tale as old as time for sure. But like you said, Antoinette, now with the new technology, with this new trend, with the social pressures, there's new ways to unfortunately inflict some trauma on children, and absolutely horrible. And, Antoinette, you brought up this great point. This kind of newer thing, right? It's a newer industry. When you started down this path many years ago, it was a lot more rare. It was harder to find. It wasn't as accessible now. But now things have changed a bit, as we've talked about. But at the same time, because it is so new, not a lot of people have maybe the long-term effects of these gender transitions, the surgeries, the drugs, the hormones, all of this. But since you've been part of this for so long, I mean, can you talk a little bit about the long-term effects of this medical transition, these procedures that were conducted on you? And because I feel like a lot of people now, they don't know, right? They don't know what's going to be down the path 20 years from now, 30 years. They're not sure what could happen, but you've kind of already been down there over the last several decades.
Right. And, and that's the thing too, is that this has become super trendy. Not only I think mainly it's a lucrative business. It's a very lucrative business. So I think a lot of the how would you say, like the marketing for it, so to speak, and that's what it's basically been, is a marketing ploy. Everyone gets a really big cut off of this, and unfortunately, our children and women and some innocent men and boys are put through this process unnecessarily, which leads down to some of the stuff that you're talking about. So, when they go and reach puberty blockers, which is a chemical castration that they use for sex offenders, mind you, and they're going to be using this on children. For little boys, that's one thing that people don't realize. Like, there's no way to have a conversation with an 8-year-old boy, 8 to 12 years old, telling them that if you take this, that basically you will lose all basically sexual function, and any kind of way to bond with your partner in the future is never going to happen. You'll never experience an orgasm. So when
I think this is just one of them conversations, man. They're like behind the motherfucking scenes, like yeah, they want to have these conversations out loud. Like, Generation X, we don't really have these kind of discussions, like old boy said. You know what I mean? The thing is too is that like this is that type of shit. This is that too much social media. This is that take your motherfucking kids' phone shit away. Like, I mean, kids ain't even outside. Like, they don't know how to read, write, or go outside. Like, this is like the top 3 things. You know what I mean? They're just busy on the phone and punking their parents. You know what I mean? That's what it seemed like. They always got something going on. Like, instead of picking up a book, a pencil, or a piece of paper, and or going outside, letting the sun hit your face, playing out there, they're not out there playing. They're out there on the phone. They're out there getting groomed. They're out there just, you know what I mean, making themselves into targets of all sorts of things, you know what I mean? Or getting picked off, because it is difficult, you know what I mean? But at school is the main, like public school. This is another thing about the public school system. You're getting, not only are you getting brainwashed and whitewashed and pre-programmed, but then you got to go home and deal with that shit too. Like, they used to see how they show a lot of reels and like shorts where you see kids back talking or disrespecting their parents in some way, shape, or form, right? Just by the mannerisms and the way they talk. Like, I grew up with the sense that my mother's a villain. She was like, you outside, you represent me. You're a reflection of me. Don't go outside making an ass out of yourself, right? They say that shit. My parents, my father, when you're outside, you represent the household. You and your brother, like things like that. So it's like kids is out there either doing way too much, either be too fast to ratchet, or you think you just the littlest, the strongest YN ever, or you're just being tapped out. Now you on some other social media trend, wave, craze, fad, like we like to call it. You know what I mean? I say that because that's what I've seen. If the trend was everybody put on ears and a tail and pretend to be a cat, fucking all the kids would be saying they're a cat now. You see what I'm saying? And meowing and purring and acting stupid. We're wearing that shit outside, ordering it online. Amazon will be fucking flooded with this weird shit to send out to people. Like that's what would happen, right? Or if the trend is like in hand it has been, we're gonna emasculate black men and turn them gay, and now everybody's gay. You know what I mean? Or half in, half out, wearing like dresses, got braids and whole fucking beards and face hair. Like, come on, in a deep ass voice. But he's not Jamal no more. He's Janice. You see what I'm saying? Come on, cuz like this is the way. This is what's happening, right? And it's been going on for a long time. No studies, no groups, no nothing. Like they got this whole fucking hate crime bill again. Like I said, in 20 fucking flags to discern what's going on with them, right? And you just heard this broad say, there's no counseling, there's just instant, go ahead. You know, just the vouchers there. Like, oh, you say you gay? Okay, cool, let's figure it out. Therapized conversation. Or, okay, oh, you say that you're not in the right body, that God made an error by making you a boy. So, you know, you need to be a girl because God made mistakes. Check, the universe don't make no mistakes. This is how you is. This is how you gave it. There's a reward. You know what I mean? The universe just don't say, you know what, decide I'm gonna say, fuck that little girl. Have her come in and live a whole life of suffering. That's not how it is. There's a reason for me like this. It's supposed to be educational. It's gotta be educational. It's gotta be above, right? So you don't make no mistakes. You come in the way you're supposed to come in, right? Like this is a shit. But be something else that ain't. Something else that ain't.
Babe, I'm back. You're breaking up really bad.
Yes. I don't see how I'm breaking up. I'm talking all close to the computer.
It sounds broken up on my end. It's like when Shabaka's on the phone.
Okay, well, I don't know what that's about, but just shut that up to StreamYard. I can't do anything about it.
Mission accomplished, so I'll be heading over there here shortly.
Like all right, tell cuz I said hi, and I'll see him this weekend. He's going to be up there this weekend, right?
Yeah. Well, he said he might go to.
Okay, yeah, he might. So he's all right, whatever. You see me on the phone about that. I'm gonna get back into this so we can finish our dialogue. I'll see you when you message me because I gotta have to plug in the phone soon. Yeah, so I can send you that when you get towards this direction. Tell him I said what's up, Ed. I'm sorry I wasn't there to visit with him. All right. So here's what I'm saying. So they're on a wave, right? So let's say just coming up because Jesse's somebody in and out. They'll leave him in the studio. There's the case a motherfucking bitch gets kicked out again. So let's see.
All of the other adults are adults doing adult things. You're not going to be able to participate. An 8-year-old or 12-year-old, I don't care. Like it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter now. You don't have the ability to give consent to this sort of procedure, to this sort of way. But what you could do is just put them into, mental health with their.
Real fast, just made a very valid point offline. He said I might have to cut this off, the stream off, and restart it. So I might want to do that after this video if we can maintain this video throughout the thing, because this is ridiculous to keep having to restart the StreamYard. So and I've done it like 7 times already, and I normally don't have to do it unless the Wi-Fi is acting stupid. But this is not the Wi-Fi. This is really just StreamYard acting like
therapy. But even then, Colorado makes crazy laws that make it very difficult for therapists to even ask just general questions. And even parents too. Parents could lose their ability to have their children. They could be thrown in jail. They could be, have things on their permanent record for just caring about their kids. But the things that people don't discuss also is that it takes almost near a decade to realize that you've made a mistake. So within 10 years, you can easily cut your breast off, uh, have, some sort of genital surgery that completely disfigures your body. But it's also the long-term effects of those surgeries. Like with my surgery that was botched, nowadays, what I'm experiencing, and I don't really have much history in my family of it. So this makes me think this is the trauma from the surgery is my body trying to recover just from years of abuse from testosterone, but also the trauma of these surgeries. I have a lump that's been growing under my left like auxiliary, like in my armpit. That's been increasing in size, and it changes size and shape, which is really weird. But that only started happening within the past like few years, and it's around my chest surgery. Also, I've experienced that during, and forgive me if some of this is too medical or gross, but people should just know. During BMs, I'm starting to have where there's excessive amount of bleeding, and most women would know what it's like to have their menstrual cycle and what that looks like, and for that to look like that in the toilet when I have no ability of having a menstrual cycle anymore. It's the trauma to my throat, the
Wow.
thickening of my vocal cords. Like my voice gets tired after a while. I don't know if there's possible. I see that there's like my throat has changed, so I don't know if that's due to some sort of tumors or cancer, or I don't know yet. And it's so difficult to be seen or to have people correlate this towards detransitioning. Like they just want to think it's or when I go and see a doctor, forgive me, they'll think I'm detransitioning now. They have no idea that I've already started this process over a year ago. It's having the pain in my stomach to where now I have to go get an endoscopy and a colonoscopy because there's just really no answers that they could see from scans and things like that, that they have to go in to my stomach and go into my on. And most of this stuff, especially remix, didn't happen until a couple of years after that first botch surgery. In 2015 is when I had the first bleed, when I started having the first complications with my stomach, of having like inconsistent bowel movements, having moments of malnutrition, to where I will eat a piece of steak, and as I ate it is as it comes out, and almost immediately. So my body is not absorbing nutrients, and so even now it's like considered like a mystery illness, but this stuff could be directly correlated towards that abuse in my body because no one else in my family has experienced this. So it's not like it's a family thing. So I want people to be very cautious, not only for themselves, but if they think about their child, the damage you're causing to your child by not protecting them now, you have no idea the consequences in the future of what that kid will have to deal with. Being a medical lifelong patient, even having sexual dysfunction, um, there's so many things that from just the abuse my body has taken. And even just the mental wear. A lot of people, like how we talked about, where they're like, "Oh, this will fix it. This will make you feel better." Testosterone, especially, I want the women to understand this. Testosterone, especially, will make you feel great. It's meant to. That's what it's designed to do. So you're going to get an increase of energy. Even your libido is going to increase. Like you're going to feel like you're on top of the world for a little while. And then the mental illness will creep itself back into your life because what you resist will only persist. You know what I mean? So if you're not getting into your mental health, if you're not dealing with those issues that cause you to disconnect from yourself, it will creep back in. And people don't realize that when you go into this, you're already dealing with a suicide rate that's pretty high, for someone who's going into having a mental illness. But when they're in that mental illness and you further dissociated them, you push them into psychosis, and now they're living this lie. Then when the reality hits and they realize their body is disfigured, they'll never get those parts back. There's damage that cannot be reversed. It's at that point in time that suicide rate goes up exponentially. And people don't realize that. You think this is something that's going to help cure the problem, and it's not. It'll only make you more sick. It'll only make you mentally ill.
Wow, Antoinette. Well, I appreciate you sharing the details there, because I think, like you said, it is important for people to understand, really, and we can't be afraid to talk about this, especially when it's affecting so many people in our state of Colorado, across the country, so many young people who are going down this path. And like you said, these parents who don't know what the consequences are going to be for their kids, and they themselves who clearly have no clue, right? They haven't hit puberty. They don't know what the future is going to be like. They don't know. And yet, right, and to say, oh, they made that decision on their own, they knew. I mean, it's that people even accept that, but unfortunately they do. I mean, or at least that's what they say. Where it's just wild. But you talked about the long-term harm that can happen to an individual, like what's happened to yourself, what can happen to these children. But what else do you have to say? What's your message to parents who maybe have children who are starting down this gender transition path?
Well, before I get into the motivational interviewing, which is really helpful to parents, was something that you just touched on. I want to say it was Lindsay. I feel it was Lindsay, but anyway, he had a beautiful thing, like an analogy. I've had people attack me in that way of saying like I was never trans to begin with, or they say like that I knew what I was getting into. So that's your fault. Like, they want to put it back on me. And it's just fine. Like, I don't mind taking a certain level of accountability in my mental wellness. But what I try telling them is it's like trying to hold a person who's experiencing like clinical depression, and they go to see a doctor and they give them a prescription for a gun and one bullet. And then you're getting like, so to me, I was in a state of distress making these decisions, which is why
I don't know if it's the same thing. I don't know if that's even like equatable. Like that's why
it's imperative to have mental help and therapy, so you can sort through these thoughts, so you can basically figure out, oh, well, never mind, that's not for me. You know what I mean? So, but the thing for the parents. So one thing that I always tell parents all the time is that this is a very culty thing. It's a very, very culty thing. You have a lot of groomers that are wanting to protect that way of life and having access that they do now that we've given to them. So it's a
delusions that create a cult. Like we say. Sit back and think about that. And then I know we're like, God damn, Brady, you just can't keep going in on the motherfucking agenda, but there's a clear agenda.
It happened again. Lord, I'm glad I was here. Shit. Leave, y'all. Okay, welcome back, Lady Shade. I kicked you out again.
I know, man. I understand what that's about. And just kick the whole Avatar shit off. Like, they just burn it up purpose almost at this point.
Told you there's storms in the area. It's about to start storming over here.
Scott won't let me like put my picture back.
Yeah.
Oh God, stupid! This shit is stupid. What did I say? It says if you're having trouble, try refreshing your page. Oh, bitch! I don't want to refresh this. Hold on 1 second, brother. We're gonna try to get to finish this. I'm just gonna do it just and I'm gonna get off this, reset this StreamYard, replan it for another time later this evening. Because it's really, it can't be storming and shit over here. I don't smell the rain in the air yet.
You hear the thunder? It's thundering over here.
No.
I just heard thunder. supposed to start raining over there too. I'm looking at the radar right now.
Nope. All right. Let's finish this up. I'm gonna end up having to. I really don't want to. I really don't want to. I really don't want to. I want to carry on my show because I have right after this topic, or Colorado shit, and I kind of got some good stuff to talk about. Well, interesting shit. You know what I mean? So I really don't want to end my program, but it's going. Streamer doing me dirty.
Do you want
like I stole something. What?
Do you want this new shower curtain?
Is it blue?
Yes.
Yes. You just messing me off topic things.
So your children are already geared to fight. They've already been given all the tools for war. They're just waiting for you to ask the question. They're waiting for you to respond in the right way that they've taught them that you're going to respond. So then they see you as the enemy. And so the relatives and families a little bit connected, because that's how groups get their way in. Is they see that you're not quite communicating with their parents. You're not quite cool with their parents. You're not very tight with their parents. So that gives me a way in. So what I like to tell parents is reconnect back with your kid, reconnect back with your family, but do it in ways that are built around psychology, not what you think is really well, because clearly if it were working, it wouldn't have that little window for to get there. So it's going to take I think, some personal self-development to create that space in your home to reconnect with your family. Once you have that reconnection, the next thing I would tell parents to study is motivational interviewing. It's asking questions and having your kid answer for you. So if they think that they're trans, and be very careful about terminology too, know the laws of Colorado. And it's so sad to say, like, you have to learn the laws of Colorado so you could be a great parent. Like, that's just insane this day. But it's basically like saying, okay, so you feel like you're trans. Why do you feel like you're trans? Where did this come from? How long have you felt this way? You go there with complete curiosity and just asking question after question after question. And eventually the kiddo's going to be like, well, I felt this way because I met Susie. And Susie was in my art class. And in my art class, they're teaching about transgender, whatever. So I just think it's cool. I want to fit in with other people. Or you might find out that your kid will probably experience something traumatic. And then you could get them the help that they need to reconnect to themselves. So motivational interviewing is a very very gentle, and I feel a very positive way to communicate with your kid, to make them answer their own questions. So you're not pushing anything, but you're having them answer their own questions. They'll hear it out loud. And maybe them hearing their own answer out loud will change the direction that they are choosing to go, since parents can't really parent in Colorado anymore.
No, and I think that's a great technique because, so often you see, or maybe you could think that a parent would say, oh, you're only doing this because of this, right? And the parents bringing their preconceived notions, or you're only doing this because you saw this or this or that. They're giving them the answer instead of asking the question of, no, you explain to me, you tell me, because when you're answering that question, kid, you're exploring those ideas in your own head and you're coming up with the justification, the understanding of it, instead of me, the adult, telling you why you're thinking this way, which is what the kid's probably so upset about to begin with, generally speaking, right? Right. Oh, you're, kids, of course, telling the parents, you're always telling me how things are, how I am, this and that, but you don't know how I am. So yeah, giving the kid the space to say that themselves and to explore those ideas and to get it out there and verbalize it and explore it, I think is key. I think that's huge. I think that's important for this issue and maybe any other issues that children are having, some of the problems in society that they're facing, whether it's school or the exposure to traumatic content on social media. I'm sure that's not been beneficial, and some of the other problems we see. I mean, it's wild nowadays. A kid with a phone or getting on the computer can be exposed to horrible things. I mean, things that horrible things being, violence and harm and fighting and this and that. And it's because, and I feel like some of this trauma that's, getting 2 inches from their face into their eyes, hours and hours a day, can have a negative, obviously can have a negative effect. I mean, it's almost inarguable, I think, which is why so many of these government people are trying to push, social media bans for kids and this and that. I don't necessarily think that's the right answer, but I can understand why maybe that's not a good thing for kids to be on social media and experiencing all these things that kids shouldn't be exposed to at a young age, right?
Right. And it's putting the responsibility back on us as adults. That we need to get back to where we're rooted in reality. Because again, there are people like the lizard man, the tiger man, and even though they choose to be a lizard and a tiger, no one really believes that they are a lizard or a tiger. If I saw the tiger man out in the wild, I wouldn't be like, oh God, someone needs to call the zoo because we have a tiger on the loose. You know what I mean? Like, no one does that. So even for the small percentage of people who are considered, having gender identity disorder, which that's what it's really called, they changed it to be more palatable by calling it transgenderism, but it's still a gender identity disorder. So even with having that, the small group of people, even with that, I would say for them, maybe it's necessary to have certain protections because it's such a small group, but it doesn't apply for everybody. And that's what they've really done, is they've just really ran with this, and now we're experiencing our society becoming sick and no one doing anything about it. We're just further making people sick, and it doesn't make any sense. And especially allowing children who can't even make decisions for themselves on a daily basis. We have laws in place for that to ensure that they're not put into positions of where adults or being in adult-like positions, but we'll give this to them.
It is wild, insane. It's wild. It's hard to believe we're at this point. And I think that's part of the problem, is that because it's so unbelievable, so many people in our society don't want to believe it's happening. So that's crazy. That's ridiculous. There's no way that's happening, because they haven't experienced any of it and they don't understand, especially maybe some of the older people in our society, they just don't believe that that's even happening. I think there's a good segment of the population, so they don't necessarily think that anything needs to be done about it, because they're just unwilling to believe it. And then when they find out the truth about how horrific this is to children and what's actually being done to them, they don't want to believe it either, because it's just so bad and so horrific. You're like, I don't even want to accept that this is reality, right?
Right.
Well, that's enough of that. Okay, so I'm start right here with this. I'm trying to hold on to try to do as much as I can before I have to really, really get off. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna end right there. Let me tell you, we're gonna end right there with that topic. This agenda has created all that. You know what I mean? And then they want to walk it back. You can't walk it back. Now it's done. Now we just gotta, take out certain things. The crime bill's already there. That's already there. Oh, now I hear the thunder. Okay. We need umbrellas. That's what I know. Me and Jesse definitely need umbrellas. Let's get over here. I'm trying to do as much as I can. Now, real quick, right here. Me and my brother were having this long little discussion, right? And it comes to it breaks down to when we talk about deportations and whatnot, right? It comes down to, this is the crux of it all, Valley. Americans, meaning I'm pretty sure white Americans, but Americans want to know about the deportations happening. They just don't want to see it, right? They want to know that some shit's happening, but they just don't want to see it, right? And we had a discussion. I was like a debate, basically, and he was telling me that when Obama was over there deporting all these motherfuckers, he was doing it in a scandalous, sleazy way. It was kind of like low, not too much visibility. There was some visibility, but it wasn't as dramatic as, this term right here, right? And that Biden was over there doing the same thing towards the end of his term. That he was deporting a lot of motherfuckers, just wasn't making big old scenes, and I was in contention about it. So I said, what about all the motherfucking Haitians and getting whipped by horses and the water and all that shit? So we were having this little debate. And in the midst of it, as I was just like trying to listen to what I was watching and listen to him and argue with him at the same time, I came to the conclusion that Americans want to know what's happening. They want the deportations to continue. They just don't like the violence assumed with it, so they just won't want to see it. They want to know what's happening, but they don't want to see it. And it's like, look, I'm with all of that. Can I just know and see the proof? Like, at the same time, yes, it's utterly ridiculous footage, man. So we're gonna have to go over some new shit that's happening, and like at least something else that's going on in the world, and deportations or whatever, right? We're gonna go over that. So this stuff comes from Fox News, man. Fox News, I was like, according to Fox News, we had no borders are for like 3 years. That was where I was debating if Tom Holman was efficient or not. And there's having a discussion with my brother. I don't know why my brother, me and my brother, I asked a simple question. It turned into a motherfucking 2-hour debate, okay? Where I just loud talking and hollering and shit. And I really don't care. I was just dropping hot boy statements. He said that too. And I was just like, I don't care. Like, I didn't vote. So really I had no motherfucking opinion. You see what I'm saying? No vote, no opinion. Like, I didn't have an opinion. I just know that I didn't like what was going on in Colorado, and I fucking made it a very serious thing to everybody know that I don't like all this migration fucking taking up resources. So that's what the fuck I was on. You see what I'm saying? And I come to that conclusion, family, that we'd rather just cover our eyes and let the ears do all the listening, right? And have opinions. Because God forbid, if our eyes get offended, then we are on some protest shit or some other shit. That's what that's about. But I personally just don't give a fuck, and I don't care. So I would like to see it and hear about it within reason. You know what I mean? Not towards like letting the toxicity.
Some really wild video here. Chaos at the border of Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police. Their video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on
I don't know how some of those motherfuckers are young and military age. Oh, that sounds like some hell. Look at this shit. Let's see, like, look, motherfucker just in shorts and shoes.
Completely overwhelmed the border police. Their video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore another way, some of them waiting in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2024, kind of similar to what we saw in Del Rio back in 2021. The socialist agenda, their platform literally says,
look, then he hit us with the propaganda. That's where the start of this conversation me and my brother happened. I was like, I don't give a fuck that this is nothing. It's not like they're gonna hit us with the propaganda because you don't like the Democratic Socialist Party. Like, this fucking report the news. You hear the rain coming
they
down?
want to abolish borders, abolish immigration enforcement, have complete freedom of movement. This is what it looks like in another country if they get what they want. Notice there is no resistance from the government whatsoever. These people are coming in without any obstruction. And if people don't know, Spain has a very left-wing government. Earlier this year, they did a big amnesty program for over 1 million illegal immigrants living in the country. They had 1.3 million illegal immigrants apply for that amnesty program between April and June. So that's what we call a pull factor, Sandra. They're looking for something like that. They know if they can just get their foot in the country, maybe someday that left-wing government will do another amnesty program. And you were just reading some of the wires. The locals want an emergency declaration. It sounds like
the ministry's saying no, and they will not deploy military to the border.
Apparently, they don't think this is an emergency. I mean, look at this. This is a total free-for-all.
It does feel like we are looking at a few years ago when you're reporting at the border here in the United States. This is happening right now. This story is breaking right now, and you're not just talking about hundreds of thousands of migrants pouring over borders as we speak.
Yeah, and again, I mean, just look here. Do you see any women or children? I mean, most people would call these folks so-called asylum seekers. These are all young guys just flooding into the country and overwhelming what, if any, border there
That
is.
is
It looks like there's
curious.
just kind of a small barbed
Where
wire
are
fence
the
or
women
something
in
like
Florida?
that. But you can see the Spanish government was caught completely off guard here, and you have thousands of these men. I mean, it literally looks like you often hear the word invasion, but it literally looks like one here. Look at that. I mean, you see the border fence there, all just going around it. And again,
the head of Spain's civil guard is calling this absolute chaos. In a brand new interview, he said, quote, "It's not possible to give precise numbers, but there are thousands of miles crossing right now." He added that the border has totally collapsed.
Let me tell you what else is
yeah,
curious.
it certainly looks like.
What else is also curious about this? You see any more than a t-shirt or any more than shorts and some shoes on? Like you where you keep your wallet at? Cause like you gonna live with no wallet, no ID, no nothing, no money, no nothing, no phone. Like this is just draws and motherfucking swim trunks and might as well been draws. Swim trunks and shoes. That's it. That's all. What you motherfucking need? That's crazy. They doing all this shit. Like no bread, you ain't coming with no money. You going to Morocco? It's not Morocco's a poor country.
And for folks who don't know where this is a small Spanish city, autonomous in North Africa. It's actually in Morocco, but it has Spanish. It's called Ceuta. This isn't on the mainland of Spain. But these images, we've been looking at them on social media all morning. It's just start to see that there is no resistance whatsoever. I mean, at least in Del Rio back in 2021, when those 20,000 Haitians were crossed over
And of course, the United had their status revoked, y'all. They are on temporary protected status, which means that for the time being, for the last 16 years, y'all, they could not be deported. But the Supreme Court recently ruled that the Trump administration can now end that status and deport those.
This is the last one, fam.
And now ICE is gearing up for a massive deportation effort against those Haitians, y'all. Now, as you can imagine, this has certain people cheering and it has certain people crying and raising Cain over that. So we're going to be taking a look at that here today. Also, you may wonder, well, why not? Why can't they go back to their country? Like, you know, they've been here 16 years, many of them. Some maybe have been here less time than that, but you had a temporary status. Why can't you go home? End of this video, y'all, we're going to get to that. And I'm going to tell you both sides. And I want you to tell me in which side you think had a better point. But first off, with this kind of news that Trump administration says 350,000 Haitians got to go.
Right now, ICE planning dramatically to ramp up operations that deport Haitian migrants here in the U.S. This after the U.S. Supreme Court sided with the Trump team, ruling that TPS, known as temporary protected status, is temporary. Federal sources telling Fox that Ohio is heavily targeted. Let's get into that now with Chad Wolf, former acting DHS secretary. Thanks for coming back and good day to you. Here are the numbers as they only apply.
Because it's doing some weird shit and he keeps kicking me out. I think I'm gonna need to reset my router, but that's something that I'll let Jesse do when I see him. Oh my God, why don't you say that? Jesus Christ. Hold on, Jesse. Just hold on. You're still in here. Now, Hold on. I'm not, you know, I like, you take, oh God. Texting and shit. I'm not even got the phone on me. Like, I like literally put it down so I can focus on the street yard. And then I got, like, you know what I mean? Like, so please, everybody. All right, so are you still in
Hey.
here? Yeah, nay. Just yeah.
Yes, yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm about to leave though.
What you mean I got an internet? I know. Hold on. I got you. Just hold on a second.
Okay.
It like it wasn't letting me in. They don't have no internet, which is like fucking crazy. Hold on. All right, fellas. So,
It should be
birthday
streaming.
later.
I think I got it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think I just got it. Let me check. Yeah, you're breaking up really bad. There's storms in the area. We just had a severe thunderstorm come through. Yes, I got it. Yes, I got it. I got it. I got it.
Run my change when you're done with it. All right, see you a little bit.
All right.
See, say.
You too.
All right, Billy. So look out to see.
Damn. They kicked her out again. I gotta go though. I'm trying to wait for her to get back in the studio, y'all. I gotta go though. She don't get in the stream. Yeah.